Nobody features, nobody. Like say they don't dance, nobody. They don't dance, nobody. Yeah. Yo, which kind witchcraft, which kind juju can make you do the things you do? Girls go gaga, guys go cuckoo. When you write the tracks and go choo choo. You who came in the game just like moo moo. Now you jump in the game, it's like foo foo. Which food will make the flow proper? Which medicine man or which doctor? No shisha, no shekbe. Let me your repete. My time is prime, I'm like keke. Just jeje making my pepe. No obstacle or no hindrance. No gate in front of my entrance. No checkpoint, no roadblock. In a matter of time, I'm gon' blow up. Nobody undisputed champion. Nobody can do what I've done. Nobody feet crash. Nobody do pass. Nobody features. Nobody say they don't dance. Nobody they don't dance. Nobody say they don't dance. Every time I grab the mic, I know my flow insane like a psycho. Flow so fat it's needing lipo. Flow so hot it burns on pyro. Undisputed, that's the title. Top of the continent like Cairo. Even down south I rock like Quito. I'm too bad, I'm bad like Michael. Am I about to change the game 2 times? Haters can't kiss between my 2 thighs. Chop boys right.
6:33. There's still the Citi Breakfast Show. The newspaper review comes up next. Music in the back though from MI. Calls this one Undisputed Master of the MI2 the movie album. Call this one Undisputed Champion. It's one of my favorite songs of that album. Segment proudly brought to us by Fidelity Bank, and Fidelity Bank has a few things to share with the public. Now they say we refer to Bank of Ghana's notice to the public of a suspension of our foreign exchange trading license and wish to reiterate that this does not any way affect Fidelity Bank's normal banking operations. While we address the reporting concerns raised by our regulator, we have in the interim reached agreements with our partner banks to aid in seamless completion of foreign exchange transactions on behalf of Fidelity Bank. We apologize for any inconvenience this announcement we have caused, and we reassure all our valued customers that we are actively engaging the Bank of Ghana to resolve the issue as soon as possible. All branches, agent points, and digital platforms continue to provide our customers with the full range of financial services as usual. And as a bank, we strive to maintain the highest levels of operational compliance across all our business activities, and we are fully committed to engaging the Bank of Ghana to resolve the situation. That's the word from Fidelity Bank. Now the segment is also brought to us by Total Energies. They have brought out quartz engine oil designed with age resistance technology, and it's what your engine needs because it will be protected by up to 74%. Even when the temperatures and pressures are extreme. Choosing quartz from Total Energies, choosing the engine oil that keeps your engine running efficiently and effectively. Quartz keep your engine younger for longer. Let me welcome the guys, Richard Delaska and Godfred Akotobo. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Are you enjoying MI?
It's not really one of my favorites, but it's a good song. He's a good rapper. He's a good rapper.
MI is the super.
Yeah, he's a good rapper.
I need a champion.
Anytime I have the mic, I flow. My flow insane like a psycho. Flow so fat it's needing lipo. Flow so hot it burns on pyro. Top of the continent like Cairo. Even down south I rock like Quito.
Oh, Charlie, no. You and I we go do collabo.
Part of the collabo will you be on?
Oh, this one.
I'm just asking.
No, I go deal with the rap. I go deal with the hook.
Anyway, that's MI. Anyway,
Board Rastaman here. Do you want to do
Charlie, we the Rasta people will send you a memo.
That's not hard. That's what you are.
Morgan Heritage said you don't have to be dread.
Yeah, man. Respect if you teacher.
So you do a good morning. Let me take you to the front page of the Daily Graphic quickly, Nathan. Agenda 111 progresses steadily. 84 contracts awarded. 54 start. There's a focus on Etiwa East. and it's called A Haven of Peace, Inspiring Progress. Asin North Kumewu review EC's efficiency, according to the EC boss Jean Mensah. And the Speaker of Parliament says that partner Parliament to fight press freedom violations. And that's the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, urging the media.
The Ghanaian Times says Agenda 111 project, 88 hospital projects on course, and all to be completed end of 2024, according to Kojo Opon Nkrumah, the Minister for Information, who is making a huge public appearance for the first time in a long while. I've not seen him in the public for a long while. Good morning, Kojo. Are you there? Also, Osajefo Power Badge dismantled without approval. A Deputy Minister of Energy is quoted here saying, looming power crisis. IPP's stop power generation for national grid is a question that is here on the front page. Comes with a photograph of Mr. Afetogbo. And Jachi Kwesin seeks stay of proceedings at the High Court.
Okay.
Front page of the Republic Press this morning. NPP in pain. As blame game trails Asin North defeat. Kojo Opon Nkrumah on the front page of the paper with the Agenda 111 announcement. Okay. Court jails 6 Western Togoland group members. That's been in the news all week. The Speaker of Parliament wades into Jachi Kwesin case, insists he's not being treated fairly.
The finance says this morning, complete 45 hospitals by end of this year. Government tax Agenda 111 contractors. Also, 4,700 new cars produced in Ghana since 2020, according to Pepra. And then BOG fines and suspends FNB, Fidelity Bank, from forex trade over rule breaches. And then Akosia Menu celebrates Eid al-Adha with Muslims in Adenta.
Front page of the Daily Guide, Alex Molders there says that I have no evidence that Forson was authorized. Boga MP dashes to Court of Appeal. Agenda 111 is on the front page. And government completes 84 drainage projects. Also the front page of the paper.
The Ghanaian Observer says Agenda 111 projects on course. Government says 88 health facilities progressing steadily. Akufo-Addo hails government's record of religious tolerance and harmony. The finance minister raps world leaders, pushes for fit for climate financial system. Petroleum tanker drivers suspend strike. Okay. And government committed to tackling perennial flooding.
Finally, from me, the front page of the Inquisitor newspaper says that stop press, EPA boiling over poor state of affairs. The executive director of the EPA, Henry Kwabena Kufu, is on the front page. Opunu's judge transferred, get to Kumasi on July 3. That is according to the paper.
And finally, from me as well, the Chronicle says government fires 3 contractors working on Agenda 111 projects for not meeting standards. And you can see the progress of work here. Drone shot taking of one of the projects in the Ashanti region. Okay. Also, former ABSA staff makes third appearance in alleged 1.2 million Ghana cedi stealing case. Ghana's economy still will rebound, according to Stanchart boss, and BOG suspending some banks also on the front page here.
The Herald, even though we don't have a physical copy, I have a copy or an image of the front page, which says Chief Justice transfers Opuni trial judge with telephone call after AG's unhappiness over starting case afresh. Speaker condemns Jachi Kwesin's daily court appearances. $1.7 billion debt breaks Akufo-Addo's promise to keep lights on as IPP chamber threatens doom so from tomorrow. And MPP national executives coming under financial scrutiny after by-elections. So that's on the Herald's front page. But if you go to citynewsroom.com, engage IPPs to avoid power crisis, energy consultants to government. You have Speaker Babin talking about Jachi Kwesin's daily trial. And Jamoro MP calls for full-scale audit into disposal of $110 million power badge, and petroleum tanker drivers suspend nationwide strike. And Kojo Opon Nkrumah says 88 out of Agenda 111 hospitals under construction. If you go to citybusinessnews.com, petroleum tanker drivers suspend nationwide strike. They have the BOG's story in relation to FNB and Fidelity Bank. And Professor Haite says Bank of Ghana's operational mechanism very pleasing. And Deputy CEO of GIPC stresses IMF's role in Ghana's economic recovery. If you go to citisportonline.com, they have some stories. Kotoku Royals will return to the Ghana League in 3 years. That's according to the club's PRO. Hearts of Oak's failed experiment. Yasan Yuachin released after no goal all season. And they have other stories as well. Benjamin Mendy there. And Man United and Chelsea agree a fee to sign or agree a deal over Mason Mount. If you go to myjoyonline.com, they also have some stories on that particular portal. Many people in Ghana are above the law. That's according to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament.
Speaker.
Yes. And poor environmental sanitation could trigger typhoid fever infections. And then on a lifestyle matter, the science behind yoga, benefits to immunity and quality of life. If you go international, France is where the action is. There's a lot of giddy giddy there. There's a live ticker on the BBC's homepage which says looting, fires, and violence in France as 667 people arrested. And then in Ukraine, there's a feature, and the question or the title of that feature is "What Now for the Wagner Group in Ukraine?" And Pakistan strikes $3 billion funding deal with the IMF. So, yeah, Pakistan also going to the IMF for support.
Okay, so let's take off this morning and make I go with
Jachi Kwesi.
Yes,
so the
Kwesi.
story on page 3 details there. Actually, the lead story of the paper this morning it talks about 88 hospitals. But let me talk about Jachi Kwesi, which on the third page. The story says Mr. Jachi Kwesi, the Member of Parliament elect for the Asin North, has filed a motion on notice at the High Court for stay of proceedings pending an appeal. The applicant is praying the court for an order staying the proceedings in the court pending the determination of the appeal filed in the court on the 27th day of June 2023. Now, the High Court, Accra, presided over by Justice Mami Ekwe Yanzua on June 23, 2023, delivered a ruling dismissing the motion by the applicant for a review and or variation of the previous orders of the court. Now, the applicant, dissatisfied with the ruling, has appealed against the decision of the court. Now, the Supreme Court nullified Kwesi's election, as we already know, and then there was a by-election, 2 days ago. He's been elected and most likely will be sworn into office. But the question is whether or not he's being given fair trial on the basis of the daily, hearing order that has been issued by the court regarding this trial.
Okay, the Right Honourable Speaker, Alban Badmin, he is not happy at all with the daily trial, and he's described the decision as selective, pointing out that it is unfair to subject Jachi Kwesi to a daily trial while others are not facing the same treatment. Now, this story is on citynewsroom.com, and he said so during a visit to the Graphic Communications Group Limited. And Badmin emphasized the importance of upholding the law and stated that the current approach seemed to be, quote, rule by law rather than rule of law, end quote. So that's something from the speaker.
Okay, let me take you to the front page of the Daily Graphic and Agenda 111.
Yes.
And the update that has been provided, heavily covered in the news today. Work on the Agenda 111 hospital project is progressing steadily, with 88 contracts being awarded so far, while 54 of them are under construction. This came to light when the Minister of Information, Kojo Ponkum, and the Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Nsiasare, paid a working visit to the first Agenda 111 facility at Trede in the Atrimako district in the Ashanti region yesterday to monitor the progress of work on the project, which started on August 17, 2021. The visit revealed that the facility was gradually taking shape with most of the physical structures erected. The contractor stated that the project was on schedule, and the ministry also used the occasion to brief the media on the progress of work. So Dr. Nsiasare said the monitoring team had so far visited 33 out of the 54 project sites and expressed dissatisfaction at the progress of work at all sites. On the average, he said most of the contractors had done about 52% of works at all the project sites visited, and also for that by the end of the year, majority of them would be completed and commissioned. Now, on terminations, Dr. Nsiasare cautioned contractors working on the project to speed up work or risk having their contracts terminated. And he also had debunked claims that the projects had been abandoned due to non-availability of funds. He explained that due to the importance of the project, the government set up a special purpose vehicle to prosecute the project.
Okay, so let me just deal quickly with the angle on termination.
Yes.
Because the Chronicle leads with that and says government fires 3 contractors. Richard also at Shaw, reporting from Kumasi, says the seriousness, and I'm reading the Chronicle, the seriousness which the Akufo-Addo government attaches to the construction of Agenda 111 projects has compelled it to terminate contracts for 3 of the hospitals for non-performance. So I want to believe they are talking about the contractors. Now, the presidential advisor on health, Dr. Nsiasare, who disclosed this during a press briefing at Trede in the Ashanti region yesterday, did not name the contractors involved, but said their performances were not satisfactory.
Well,
let's talk about issues of termination, suspension, and all of that. Because
No, before then, let me stay with health. On page 20 of the Daily Graphic, there's a focus on the NHIS
Yes.
by Kester Bram Cranche. It says, hope in NHIS waned, scheme starved of statutory funds. And he goes on to explain what is happening with the NHIS. It's a very good read. Talks about why it is ineffective. He's asking where is the money, and then also talks about abuse of the scheme.
Okay, so let me take you now to the story I was talking about. BOG suspends forest licenses of Fidelity and FNB. The story is by Jennifer Ambule, and it says the Bank of Ghana has fined Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited and First National Bank Ghana Limited a combined 1,000 penalty points for breaching sections 3, 4, 3, 5, and 3, 9 of the Ghana Interbank Forex Market Conduct Rules. Now, this was disclosed in a statement signed by the Secretary of the BOG, Sandra Thompson, and released in Accra yesterday. There's a direct quote here from the statement, and it goes on to say, in addition, the bank has suspended the respective forest licenses of the above-mentioned banks from the 29th day of June 2023 to the 28th day of July 2023. Now, by this notice, the BOG has cautioned forest market players, including banks, forex bureaus, forest brokers, and money transfer operators, to adhere strictly to the applicable forex market regulations and guidelines.
I'll stay with banks and courts because on page 26, the Absa Bank has sued a former employee over a 4.9 million Ghana cedi fraud. The defendant has denied the charges. Story by Emmanuel Buhoxton says that the Absa Bank has filed a civil action at the Commercial Division of the Accra High Court against a former employee seeking to recover 4.9 million Ghana cedis allegedly gotten from fraud. It is the case of the bank that the former employee, Joshua Akpalu, allegedly diverted the amount between 2011 and 2015 under the guise of payment for telephone bills.
I see. Staying with the courts, finally, remember I gave you the Herald's front page on Chief Justice transferring Opuni trial judge with the telephone call. Well, if you visit the Herald's website, theheraldghana.com, they have the story. I'll read a few paragraphs for you. The story says the Herald has obtained details of the transfer of Justice Kwesi Anochi Jima, who is sitting on the criminal case of Dr. Stephen Kwabna Opuni and Alhaji Seydou Agongo, including confirmation that he has indeed been kicked out of the case or kicked off the case through a surprise administrative move by the CJ. Details obtained by the Herald revealed that Justice Jima, who had insisted on a fair trial, has been transferred to Kumasi in the Ashanti region while awaiting the Court of Appeal to make a pronouncement on his decision to start the trial of Dr. Opuni and Alhaji Agongo afresh. The Court of Appeal has set July 3 to deliver its judgment on the Attorney General's appeal against whether the trial of the former Cocoa Board boss and 2 others should start afresh as ordered by Justice Jima soon after taking over the case from retired Justice Jackson Clemens Honyenuga, who was accused of being biased and was even banned by the Supreme Court from presiding over the case.
Well, there's a big case too, Saglebi Housing Project, and that's what. Yes, on according to the Daily Graphic on page 26, prosecution is betting on 5 witnesses, and the trial will start on July 10.
Okay, let me take you back to the Ghanaian Times page 3. There's a story there that says court issues arrest warrant for businessman over 3 million Ghana cedi debt check.
Okay.
Now, the story in the Ghanaian Times says that the Circuit Court in Accra has issued a warrant for the arrest of a businessman for allegedly issuing a dark check of 3 million Ghana cedis. Now, Alhaji Farid Yakubu, who is 40 years, is alleged to have issued a dark check to the complainant for the payment of a debt. Now, according to a statement signed and issued in Accra by Chief Inspector Kwabena Danso of the Greater Accra Regional Police Public Affairs Unit, Alhaji Yakubu, the suspect, was believed to be hiding in Accra Township and East Legon. Now, the police said that Alhaji Yakubu is chocolate in color, Dagomba, and a citizen of Tamale in the northern region. And he goes on to supply some additional details. So if you know him, you know what he did.
If you go to citibusinessnews.com, the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union and LPG tanker drivers have suspended their industrial action after more than 2 hours of a crunch meeting held with the Roads and Highways Minister.
Okay.
Now, the union is expected to resume work today while works begin to smoothen the roads. Now, for context, those who are wondering why the tanker drivers decided to go on strike were complaining that the roads that led to their depots were in very poor state, and so they wanted the government to do something. Yesterday, they met the roads minister, and some promises have been made.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Can we stay in the energy space?
Yes, let's stay there.
Yeah, because there's a story on the page 4 actually of the Finder, which says that 90% of 125 megawatts of Sajafo power bar dismantled. And in another story, Godfred brought to our attention the fact that the Member of Parliament is calling for an audit into what exactly happened. Now, this version of the story regarding 90% of the power produced there says that it has been revealed that 90% of Osajefo power barge located at Efasu in Jomoro in the western region has been dismantled. Now, this was done by Misak Limited without engaging Ghana National Petroleum Corporation to format an agreement as directed by the Energy Minister. Why are people just, ignoring the Energy Minister like that? What's going on? Now, a Deputy Minister of Energy, William Ureku Edu, disclosed this when he briefed Parliament on the status of the barge. Now, he was speaking on the floor of Parliament in question by Madam Dorcas Tofe, who is the Member of Parliament for the Jomoro constituency, who asked the Minister what the current state of the OPB, which is the barge, especially in terms of its ownership and condition, was. And there are further details in this particular story.
All right. Staying with power, an energy consultant, Dr. Yusuf Suleimana, has suggested to policymakers to engage the independent power producers to find a lasting solution to the imminent power crisis. This is from citinewsroom.com. His call follows a directive by the Chamber of Independent Power Producers to its members to cut supply from the national grid from July 1. Members of the chamber include Sunon Asogli, Sen Power, Car Powership, AXA, Twin City Energy, and Senate. And on Eyewitness News, Dr. Suleimana told Selom Adunu that he had fears that the actions of the IPPs would adversely affect businesses if they followed through on their threat to cut supply to the grid.
Let me take you abroad, Nathan. Page 5 of the Daily Graphic. Nigeria's elections early this year were marred by problems that reduced public trust in electoral processes and reforms to enhance transparency and accountability, according to an EU observer's final report. And also, South Africa has said it will host the BRICS Bloc Summit in August as planned, amid speculation that it may move to China so Russia's President Vladimir Putin can attend in a nation not obliged to arrest him on war crimes accusations. South Africa has a duty as a signatory to the International Criminal Court to arrest Putin if he attends the talks between the leaders of Brazil, Russia, India, and China due to an arrest warrant over the deportation of children from Ukraine.
Okay. The people who were killing others in Libya and all these other places, I mean, have we issued arrest warrants for them too? I think thing.
I have one. Let me add one.
They are sharing the thing. Only the father side people.
I
think there has to be some. If they are issuing it for this person, they should issue it for that person too.
Let me give you some interesting news from South Korea. So it follows. So every person in South Korea suddenly becomes at least a year younger.
Why?
After a law change. Now, it follows new laws requiring the use of the internationally recognized way of counting age taking. That is going to take effect from next week, Wednesday. Now, it replaces one of the country's two traditional methods where people are deemed to be a year old at birth, taking into account time spent in the womb. The Korean age system also sees people aging up by a year on January 1 every year instead of on their actual birth date. It means someone born on New Year's Eve will turn 2 years old on New Year's Day. The other traditional method of counting it considers a person 0 at birth, but their age goes up by a year every January 1. So, interesting development.
Yeah.
So now, yesterday I read that.
Are they going to swear David saying that their age has changed?
I'm sure.
No, but Tottenham's
Son Heung-min.
Son Heung-min,
It's become younger.
he has become younger.
Oh, I see.
The way we need this. We need this.
No, here do we manufacture it?
We need it to this side. We need to calculate like that. I think comes back small.
Anyway, there's unrest in
That's why you
France.
stay in the public service.
Yeah. There's arrest in France. 667 people have been arrested following, a policeman shooting a young man. It's caused all kinds of problems. Anyway, guys, thank you, Richard, thank you,
man.
Godfred. That was a newspaper review. Coming up next is the Citi Business News.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman Mane. Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
You've started your small business and have all these big dreams, but then reality strikes and there are so many things to do at once. What you need is the Ejapa account from Fidelity Bank. The Ejapa account gives your business a boost. It comes with a range of payment and cash collection options, such as GHQR, mobile money collection, and mobile teller cash collection. You will also enjoy prompt FX supply, competitive interest rate on loans, and free annual insurance cover of up to 48,000 Ghana cedis for your business, plus a waiver on service fees. It's time to do good business with Fidelity Bank.
Dial *776*0# or visit www.fidelitybank.com.gh to sign up for a Fidelity Ejapa account today, because together we are more. Terms and conditions apply.
Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Coming up next is the Citi Business News, brought to us by Goyle. Now, what do you do when you run out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just top up anywhere? Don't do that. Let's introduce you to the Good Energy family and why you must be part. Goyle has the Super XP Run 95 and the Diesel XP. They are the best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. So get to any of Goyle's over 440 stations across the nation and fill up your car and get an energized driving experience. Goyle, Good Energy. Go, yeah, DM. And the Citi Business is also brought to us by MTN everywhere you go. Nilate Latte is here with the latest from the world of business.
Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and powered by our most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. Coming up, banking consultant Sanoto Champon has stated that customer confidence will be impacted following the suspension of the forex licenses of Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited and First National Bank Ghana Limited. This comes after the two banks breached sections of the Ghana Interbank Forex Market Conduct Rules. The suspension of the banks from forex trading is for 30 days and took effect from June 29 and will last till July 28, 2023. The central bank, which meted out the sanction, also fined the two banks a combined 1,000 penalty points each, amounting to 12,000 Ghana cedis. Here's banking consultant Nanoto Champon speaking to Citi Business News.
Firstly, they are going to pay 1,000 penalty units. A penalty unit is 12 cedis, so effectively 12,000 Ghana cedis. But the bigger version is this suspension of dealing in forex for 30 days. That has got disproportionate repercussions for the banks involved, because it means they cannot deal in foreign exchange for those 30 days. And if they've got customers who need access to foreign exchange, they have to use their partner firms to do that. And in a way, I see it as using a sledgehammer to kill the house church fly. It's very, very serious, because both reputation, financial, and other repercussions are very severe. The Bank of Ghana should look at the notice again, and if there's further clarification to be made, they should make it to put the minds of the customers and the public at rest.
That's banking consultant Nana Utui Champon. Away from that, and an energy consultant, Dr. Yusuf Suleimana, is urging the government to negotiate with the Chamber of IPPs in good faith to avoid a looming power crisis. Government owes the group some 1.7 billion Ghana cedis. The IPPs have served notice of its intention to cut power supply from tomorrow. Since the threat, sources indicate that government has been meeting the members of the chamber independently to find a solution to the impending crisis. Here is Dr. Yusuf Suleimana.
At this moment in time, I'm very surprised that we haven't had any clear-cut plan. Like, this is what we are able to offer. Since there's something like that is not there, if it is there, I've not heard that. So I think the players are not negotiating in good faith, whether from the ITP side or from the government of Ghana. What is clear is that at this moment in time that amicable solution is not reached, somebody somewhere is not negotiating in good faith. So going forward, these players have to put people of Ghana in the middle, and they should just suppose that with the fact that where we were or what we've been through when we had this do so, what people went through, how people lost their lives and other things. I don't think we are.
Dr. Yusuf Suleimana is an energy consultant. Away from that, and the German ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Daniel Kroll, has reiterated German support towards Ghana's efforts to economic recovery. The ambassador explains that Ghana's bailout from the International Monetary Fund will help the country's debt to sustainable levels. He further expressed hope that the positive gains reported by the IMF team will be maintained. He's been speaking at the We Do Africa Ghana Awards here in Accra.
Investment will only materialize in success if the framework of doing business in Ghana is set right and the overall economic conditions are favorable to growth. And that is our common aim. When we are in talks with the Ghanaian governments, when we are in talks with the IMF, with the World Bank and other institutions, it is how can we help to get Ghana back on track, on path of economic growth and recovery. This is what we are working on. And Germany, and I stress this, is supporting Ghana in this endeavor, not only in good times, but also in difficult times, like the times we are living through. And Germany.
That was the German ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Daniel Kroll. Let's now find out how the city is performing this morning. And on the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar remained unchanged and is selling at 11 cedis. The British pound is also remaining unchanged and is selling at 14 cedis. The euro lost 1 peso and is selling at 12 cedis. However, at some forex bureaus in the capital, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis, 75 pesos, while the British pound is going for 15 cedis. The euro could be sold to you at 12 cedis, 80 pesos. Let's now join Gillian Hammer of Data Bank on part 2 of the topic, the difference between commercial and investment banks in terms of products and services.
Many people don't understand the difference between an investment bank and a commercial bank. So today, we will look at the different products and services offered by each type of institution. A commercial bank offers products such as current and savings accounts, fixed deposits, foreign exchange services, as well as loans to individuals and institutions. An investment bank, on the other hand, may offer collective investment schemes such as unit trusts or mutual funds like M Fund or B Fund. An investment bank may also offer brokerage services that include the purchase or sale of treasury bills, bonds, or shares listed on a stock exchange. Some offer corporate advisory services to help companies that may want to get listed on the stock market or do a private placement, rights issue, or bond issue. Many investment banks also manage pension and institutional funds. Please note, however, that some commercial banks also have investment banking subsidiaries. However, that subsidiary must be a separately registered company and will be regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission instead of the Bank of Ghana.
That was Gillian Hammer of Data Bank. And that does it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and powered by our most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. My name is Nii Latte. Do have a good business day.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
You see me sit in silence, sipping my liquor, making no link up. I'm picking no course. This generation, we know they get that.
8 minutes after 7. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show. We'll get into the Citi Business edition in a bit. But a few announcements. Now, in keeping with the adage that where your treasure is, that's where your heart will be, FBN Bank is encouraging you to put your children on their way to financial independence awareness with the Kids First account designed for children up to the age of 12 to show them how exciting saving can be. For teenagers aged between 13 and 17, the Me First account helps them to embrace the culture of financial responsibility from a young age. With the Kids First account for a child of up to 12 years, they get to enjoy memorable activities, while the Me First account affords teenagers the opportunity to learn all about money in fun ways. To find out more, please call 0596921921 or visit any FBN Bank branch. Visit their website, fbnbankghana.com. FBN Bank, you first. Now, Vodafone has brought the Edemu promo. Receive up to 20% of your money back in your Vodafone cash wallet when you recharge with 5 cedis or more. You can even send credit to a friend and they too receive up to 20% instant cash. Recharge with 5 cedis and more from your preferred short code, your Vodafone cash wallet, credit transfer, My Vodafone app, or other preferred payment platforms. The higher you recharge, the more you get back. Keep reloading in the demo promo and win with Vodafone. Vodafone, further together. Everybody's looking for that one thing that pushes them to bring out their best and enables them to reach peak performance. Your car wants the same thing too. That's why your best bet is to give it Shell Helix engine oil, lubricants, bunko, swahini. Doesn't matter where you are, whether you're on the open road or battling with traffic, Shell Helix will keep your engine running smoothly. Visit your local Shell station today and experience the difference for yourself. Now, today on the Citi Business Edition, we bring you highlights of our on-air series on Ghana's agricultural ecosystem. In case you're unable to follow this week's topics, don't worry. Here's a great summary for you coming up in the Citi Business Edition.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hello there and welcome to another episode of the Citi Business Edition on 97.3 Citi FM. Today, we bring you excerpts of each of the on-air series on the agricultural ecosystem as we wrap up the 2023 edition of the Citi Business Festival. This final week, we brought you 3 interesting conversations on various aspects of Ghana's agri value chain. I am Nii Latte. Thanks for your time. Do stay tuned in. Our first discussion was on the opportunities in the agri value chain, and it was with Tichi Sraha, the Chief Operating Officer of the Ghana Incentive-Based Risk Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, GESAL.
Poultry, the sector currently is dominated by the broiler production, with the layer production, with broiler production forming less than 2% for the market, and it's all boiled down to the cost of production, which is mainly driven by cost of raw material that feed into feed production in terms of maize and soya. I mean, over the last year, maize prices have gone over the roof, and it's keep increasing. But we to make the poultry sector profitable, that's the area we need to pay attention.
So the feed is the issue. What are the components? Is it the soya component? Because I thought it's maize.
It's the maize, soya, and also a few other ingredients that are imported.
So the challenge is that we don't have enough soya?
No, it's the cost.
The cost of producing
the cost of maize and soya has gone so high, and it constitutes close to 60% of the feed cost. So if that cost, that ingredient component is so high, then it makes the cost of operation so high. So in the end, you produce chicken, which is far higher than the imported.
So that's the main challenge.
Yeah, yes. And we need to address that challenge in terms of how can we support farmers to produce maize more efficiently, achieve the potential yield of 5-6 metric tons per hectare instead of the averaging 1.9 1.8 metric tons. Because if per unit area you are getting more, then you can afford to sell the produce at a price that the farmer will still make margins.
So that's the main issue.
Right. And that's where, as I indicated, this economic enclave project, and if similar projects could be rolled out, where you support large-scale production through land development, providing water access, then such operators can produce efficiently, because water and land development is major ingredient to the risk production.
So the demand for poultry is there.
Yes.
But because of the cost of production, people prefer the frozen.
Because of cost of production, it's
cheaper to import. The imports are more competitive than
the. And about 2 months ago, we have an engagement with one of the financial institutions which want to intervene, and we brought together the importers, the processors, the farmers, and even some the poultry farmers, and even some crop farmers, where we're looking at a value chain kind of financing, where the bank will finance the input supply, like the maize and soya suppliers, who will then produce and service or sell to the processors to produce feed, and then to the farmers who produce the chicken. The chicken sold to the processors, and eventually to the market. So we have all these players in a value chain kind of financing, and the bank is looking at how we will roll out.
So it's like a new approach to doing this.
Right.
To
so
deal
that the farmer who is producing the maize is taxed to produce efficiently at a certain price, that the feed miller will be able to offtake and produce feed at a price that will make it profitable for the farmer to produce broiler that will come to your table at a competitive rate.
As you said, a lot of our poultry farmers focus on the layers.
Right.
Because of the cost of production, it's much easier to keep a layer to produce eggs for over a longer period. Because I'm told only 2% of our poultry meat demand is met by broiler production.
And even a bulk of it is from when the
spent layers. So people are not really, and listeners, so broilers are essentially you raise the chicken just for the
maximum 5-6 weeks.
Yeah. So our industry is more layer focused.
Right.
And they only sell spent layers for meat later on.
Yeah.
And this approach you're using, so there's a financing challenge and there's also a technology in terms of cost of production challenge.
Right.
But isn't there enough research on alternative feed that can also help? Because if rice, if maize is going up, and there are other mixes that can be done to bring the price down.
Right. There are a lot of research that has gone on. I mean, in country and other places where cassava is being proposed as a substitute for maize, because I mean, what is maize providing the feed is energy, calories, and cassava also is a substitute that if our feed millers and formulators pay attention, we can develop a more cost effective product using cassava for the industry.
So where do you see, again, let's come back to this. So investment, you've mentioned a bit of this, but investment opportunities in the value chain of poultry. Just talk a bit about that. If somebody has resources and we don't want to just do import of frozen chicken,
right,
what are some of the opportunities? When you look at the trends, again, you shared some data about some of the positive things happening in the sector. Where should we be looking at for those who are interested in the poultry value chain?
Yeah, I think it's the feed side is very important. So if for agribusinesses or a private sector who wants to venture, production of the feed ingredient may offer opportunity for such intervention. And if you are going into such a venture, I would advise that you speak to a lot of stakeholders or practitioners in the sector, learn from their lessons, in order not to repeat certain mistakes. And then also the scale of production is very important in terms of the technology adopted. So the primary production to produce maize and soya is an area you can focus. I mean, these are short gestation, maximum 4 months is produced. And if you are using irrigation, that makes it also makes it easier to be able to achieve the yields that is expected. And then if you, I would say currently, the egg sector looks more promising because of the challenges that we spoke about. But if you invest in the egg production, and then with experience, then we can gradually also venture into the broad.
Let's end by talking about tomato. I like tomato because, for me, when I look at value-added agri industrialization, I can see a link. We consume a lot of tomato in this country. Again, even though tomato consumption has increased and has become, it's a staple ingredient in our daily diet, we still import tomatoes, right? And I'm not sure we even produce enough for what we need. What's the situation with tomato?
Yes, so you see, the production calendar, there are certain period of the year that because of the temperature conditions, you cannot produce fresh tomatoes in this country. And that's the period that we resort to importing more. I'm talking about the fresh tomatoes from our neighboring countries, Burkina Faso and the other Sahel countries. So, I mean, the question is, why is it that over the years we've not been able to come out with varieties that we can produce them within this window where our environment doesn't allow us to produce? And during this period, that's the January, February, March, temperatures are high. And if you produce tomato, the plants abort flowers. And that's the challenge. So I will encourage our research to pay attention, find out in terms of the varieties that will be adaptable to our conditions to be able to produce year round. Otherwise, we still continue.
So we import from Burkina Faso. Is it a climate that's better there? Or is it a type? Because Burkina Faso is a much drier place than Ghana.
Right. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. The window, that bulk of the tomato come into this country is the time that we don't have, our environment doesn't allow us to produce. But during the other periods of the year, I mean, our production also comes online. And during those periods, our market women then concentrate on buying tomato from the country. So it's a matter of our research, and it's taking so long. Research being supported to pay more attention in coming out with a variety that will be able to address this challenge.
Now that you know the avenues available in Agric, what's next is the financing aspect as always. William Neti, head of Agribusiness at APSA, was our second guest this week. He was talking about financing opportunities in agribusiness.
In fact, agribusiness is the lead. We really pushed for this because we realized that when it comes to agribusiness, lending or borrowing at the normal interest rate was not feasible. I mean, when you look at all the challenges that are, faced by our farmers, we needed to do something. So we were intentional in going to look for partners who would support us. And we've mentioned so many of our partners before in the area of supporting us to provide training, in the area of lending, in the area of even providing some risk mitigation and all of those. So we were really intentional. But also we realized that the youth, the women who are at a disadvantage need to be supported. And that's why we went for that.
Let's talk about agribusiness and the value chain. The way I see it is, agric is like the core. Agribusiness is around. But I think the value chain stretches it from end to end. Is that how I should look at it?
Yeah, the value chain is the whole process of, putting activities that are within a sector that produces from production to the consumer. And so all the activities along the chain are involved in this. When you talk about agribusiness, from the word go, this is taken into consideration when looking for financing, when looking for information. All these things form part of the value chain. And I think that it is critical. All of us are part of the agri-value chain because we are either producing, we are either a consumer one way or the other. And so we all have to help to make it work. When you look at the value chain, it starts from the input dealer who would deal with the basic things like the seed, the fertilizer, the mechanization, and then it will be passed on to a producer who is a farmer or farmer association, and then they would produce, and then after that they would pass it on. I mean, within our settings, aggregators play a major part, and because we have a lot of smallholders, we need these aggregators to go around and then mop up all from the 1 acre farmers and make sure that they are all together, and then that can be passed on to maybe a processor or an exporter, and then it goes to the final consumer.
So that's actually 5 distinct areas. So input dealers, the producer itself, so the inputs, which is the pre-production. There's production. Then there's aggregation. Then could there also be transportation?
Yes. So transportation, yes, is part of aggregation, because once you aggregate, you have to transport. But also there are other links to the main chain, which includes like the financial institutions, information, the media, research, marketing. All those things feed into this chain, and they are really important, and we need to really look at them, because they are the fuel that keeps the value chain running.
And then there's also the production, and then of course the consumption. When I look at the input dealer, seed, fertilizer, mechanization, how big is this area and how fast is it growing? I ask this because I've heard of a couple of fertilizer companies that have been set up. I think the president commissioned a few in the past couple of years, and there are a lot more large fertilizer companies coming in. I also know that there's a big discussion about seeds and getting sustainable seeds. Just give me an insight into how big these are and whether there are even enough local ones. Because the sense I get is a lot of these companies are also foreign. So sometimes they get money from outside before they come in. So the local finance doesn't really cater to their needs. Just your general thoughts on that.
Right. So, Bernard, they are quite big. They are both local and foreign. Like you said, the foreign usually have financing from outside, so not much. But they also contribute significantly to the value chain. What that means is that for us, where do we position ourselves to receive some of these inputs that are being brought, whether it's brought by a local company or a foreign company? They come in and then bring in these fertilizer and inputs, and then they are given to farmers. There are schemes that have been created out of this that put our farmers in a very good position. I mean, if you are a farmer or you are a number of farmers in an area, and you put yourselves together and you approach any of these input dealers, you are likely to get some support, and that is where the value chain issue becomes very critical. Because then, if you are a single farmer, you have to go and buy maybe 4 bags for your acre land. But if you put yourselves together, you can then go and negotiate. They are able to then give you credit. So they themselves offer credit, and that is where the credit begins to start. For us as the financial institutions, it creates opportunity for us. We do LCs for these, input dealers when they need to import. We do financing. Some of them go ahead and finance some of the farmers, and we finance them as well. So there's a great opportunity. In fact, if you look at our portfolio at AFSA, you realize that a big chunk of our agri
lending,
lending goes to input.
Wow.
Input.
Will the pre-production also include irrigation? And is irrigation something that can or should attract finance? I ask this because, look, rainfed agriculture is not going to take us anywhere. So generally, you should see irrigation as a core part of the process. I don't see a lot of, I don't understand the business of irrigation. My guess is that if you are doing irrigation, you are probably producing pumps, you are producing sprinklers, and you're producing things that can transport water. I don't know whether any of them have come up and whether that's an area that a greenfield should be looking at. What are your thoughts?
Well, not necessarily it's greenfield, but there are some that are also in the system that are producing some. They may not produce the equipment like the pumps and stuff, but they produce the tubes that carry the water and all of those, and those are very essential in the development of the production itself. So, yes, there are quite a bit. It's an area we need to look at where we begin to model some of these things and begin to, develop them so that we can have all year round farming. There are a few businesses, agribusinesses, that are using irrigation effectively, and more so with climate change coming in, people are beginning to look at it more and more, and so people do approach us. And for us, as we have put our new brand proposition, we are empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time, and we are taking the story one at a time. So we deal with everybody along the value chain. We look at smallholder farmers, we look at large, farmers, we look at associations, but also we have to be, strategic in positioning some of these things. Like I mentioned to you, when you deal with the value chain, you want to see what would be the most effective way of reaching out to these. So if it's an individual farmer, has he done, what is the acreage that he's doing? Is it large enough? Does he have the capacity? You look at all of those in terms of, before you are able to make a decision on that. When you look at the smaller ones, you find that it will be difficult to even be able to reach them at their very local locations. So what you can do, or what we do, is to work with various actors within the value chain. You can get an aggregator, you can get an input dealer, you can get a processor within the locality who has closer link with these farmers, and then we support them. So we have supported a number of aggregators who go around, organize these farmers. Sometimes we do visits along with them. They organize them, speak to them, what the quality and the quantities that they'll be needing over the next few months. And then with that, we are able to support them. And then the support is trickled down to these smallholder farmers. But we keep an eye on it because our partners are also interested in it.
Let's now talk about value addition in agric, a very insightful one with Kwesi Dua. Kwesi Dua is the Deputy CEO at Gesal in charge of knowledge management.
If you take trading, for instance, it's quite straightforward. The bank gives you the funds, you import or source, you sell. The turnaround is probably a few weeks, worst case scenario, a few months. Now consider an agribusiness, say a primary producer, who has to prepare the land, procure seeds, plant. This is not a few weeks to a few months. It's sometimes years. If you take an example of the rubber industry, you're not going to get any inflows for about 6 years, after which you get inflows for 30 years. So you see that it's more of a patient capital need, you see. So for deposited funds where there are more demand to pay interest on a regular basis, you cannot use that kind of the fund to do it. That's one of the problems with it.
Wonderful. Let's come to value addition, which is the main subject for today. Right. What do we mean by value addition in agriculture?
So Bernard, value addition refers to increasing the economic value of any agri product, and also making it more appealing to the user of it. So two key things here. First of all, transforming the agricultural commodity into a form that is more valuable, and also packaging it in a way that the consumers prefer or want it. This is done through a number of ways. It could be through processing, it could be through packaging, it could be through branding, or even marketing of either the raw commodity or the processed commodity. Let me give you an example. Let's take maize, for instance. I mean, maize is something that is produced locally, consumed locally. This is a Monday morning. I'm sure a lot of people have eaten some hot kinky or some delicious cocoa. Now, a farmer who produces maize may decide to sell the maize in its raw form, or may decide to mill it into corn dough or convert it into, say, corn flour. Now, you'll see that if he converts it into corn flour, it increases its value. It's more valuable. You can sell it at a higher price, right? If you convert it into corn dough, those kinky producers will be willing to pay more for it rather than buying the corn and milling it themselves. So it's more appealing to that consumer. In addition to that, it's ready for use. And so you may have, more markets for it. Even if you grow your corn and you don't have off-takers, once you process it, you can connect to another market segment that may also want it. So this is some of the things that are involved in.
So this is the basic value addition 101.
That's right.
What has been the story with value addition in Ghana's agri sector?
Well, Bernard, you know that the agri sector is an important one in Ghana. It contributes at least 20% to our GDP. Traditionally, the bulk of agriculture has been in primary production. Processing hasn't been so much. However, in recent times, the government and other stakeholders have tried to move the dial towards more processing. One strong example is the 1D1F, One District One Factory, where some of the factories that are being set up are being done to process agri-produce. My personal favorite, Ikunfi juice. Do you take Ikunfi juice?
Oh, yes.
Yes, everybody loves it.
You see them in traffic, you see them with their vans. They're everywhere.
Thank you.
So you can't even avoid it.
Excellent example. It's a flagship 1D1F project where they are processing fresh pineapple into fresh juice for the local international market. Now, this is a setup where they are providing year-round income to these farmers. So whether pineapple is in season or not, they are ready to buy it, right? The juice has a longer shelf life. It takes away the bedding for we, the consumers, for buying the pineapple, storing it, cutting it, etc. Another example would be the cocoa industry. In recent times, companies like Cocoa Processing, Niche Cocoa Industry, these are companies that are adding value to the raw cocoa bean. They're processing it into semi-finished products like the liquor, butter, powder, and even finished products like chocolates. In addition, we have shea nut. Shea nut is also very exciting. There have been several private initiatives that have sprung up, especially with women cooperatives in the north. There is a strong demand now in the international cosmetic industry for natural products.
Yes.
And shea butter meets that. And so they are being supported to produce these things. And they make more profit selling the butter than selling the raw nuts. The list goes on and on. I mean, the issue about rice. There's so much demand. A number of companies have set up rice mills to take the local paddy and convert it into high-quality milled rice, and so on and so forth.
It's funny the 4 examples you give. So a Ikunfi juice, you can say, is a large company by Ghana standards.
Right.
Niche Cocoa also is large. I've visited the place. It is a large company. But a lot of the share converting cosmetic companies are very small. So I noticed a lot of very good share brands, but I don't see a large... I mean, there are large cosmetic companies in Ghana, but my sense is that they've not integrated shea butter into their production yet. That's my sense. I may be wrong. So I will have Kaimi, will give me some nice shea products, or I'll have Tama brand, or there are a couple more. But I get a sense they are very medium level. Is this observation correct? If it is it just the nature of share, or is it a question of some policy to get? Because there are large cosmetics companies, and if share is this wild growing in the whole of the north, why should you be importing something from somewhere to do your products? Produce local share.
So there are a number of reasons for it. I'm sure we'll discuss some of them, but one of them has got to do with our ability to scale up, because the demand is there. If you look at the natural or organic cosmetic industry, it's actually a specialized industry that produces products that are more costly than the regular one. So the market is there. There are issues around scaling up our own production capacity in Ghana, organizing it better, and perhaps making sure that we have in place certain standards that meets the quality that they expect. You can't just ship any quality of shea butter, I don't think that the shea butter that they use in those expensive cosmetics is simply the Inkuto type of shea butter that we know. It requires some refinement, some marketing, some branding, etc.
That's part of the story. So you've given us 4. Okay, let's now look at the product areas that you, because you are the knowledge guy, you believe have the best potential for value addition to agri. Because you mentioned pineapple, you've mentioned cocoa, you've mentioned rice and shea. Those are 4 big products.
That's right.
Are there any more, or you just want to elaborate on these 4?
Well, I'll add one more.
Okay.
I'll say cashew.
Okay.
It may interest you to know that Ghana is in the top 20 producers of cashew as of 2021.
Really?
Of course, other countries such as Ivory Coast and Nigeria are giants in it. And of course, the world giants are India, Vietnam, etc. So we produce a lot of cashew. However, we export almost all of it to these countries, who then process it and then send it back to us and other countries to consume. So there's a great potential there, right, in cashew. I mean, there's enormous potential in processing it locally. Apart from the nuts itself, the apple of it, cashew comes in two parts. The apple of it, which we usually throw away, can be processed into jam, juice, and even wine.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's demand for those things.
There is.
In terms of producing of these products that we add value to, apart from the fact that Ghana may be in the top 20, where are the zones? So if you say, take cashew, for example, where will it do well? Do we have a cashew belt, for example? Do we have some advantages in terms of land or weather that makes the production of cashew, an advantage for us?
Yes, we do. I mean, there are certain zones in Ghana where cashew does really well. And it's actually on the rise.
Okay.
I mean, some of these potentials, it's an open secret. So a lot of farmers are going into it. They are recognizing the potential of it. But it was mainly because of the demand from India. There are, people in Ghana who are ready to buy all the cashew and export. But since we are speaking of value addition, I mean, if we simply process it a bit, we can earn much more than exporting the raw cashew nuts.
Well, that's it by way of the Citi Business edition for today. It was a summary of the final honor series of the Citi Business Festival on Agribusiness. Thank you for staying with us. The Citi Business Festival this year was powered by Citi TV and Citi FM in partnership with APSA and was proudly sponsored by MTN Momo, MTN Business and ZP with support from Gesal. We are so grateful that you stayed with us throughout this 1 month period. I'm sure you learned some insightful lessons. I am Ni Lati.
My girl, sweet girl, my girl.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
There's no price like the ShopRite price. That's why we are committed to bringing you lower prices on all the essentials you need. Like 1.7 liters essential cordless kettle, only 189 cedis, 99 pence worth. And 500 ml Palmolive shower gel assorted, just 44 cedis, 99 pence worth. Never pay more than the ShopRite price. Prices valid until 9th July. Only at ShopRite.
A bank that supports you. A bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams are alive, CBG will make you smile. No matter your business will flourish, your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG, we stand with you.
Someone smells great here. And fresh, my love. I wish I could stay in the shower all day. I know, right? Nothing beats a bath with geisha soap. It smells so good, it lasts long, and it's enriched with natural ingredients that work wonders for my skin.
And it now comes with a fresh new look, giving us even more reasons to love our geisha bar.
New and improved geisha soap.
Great you look, better fragrance, same natural ingredients, still all last time. This advert is FDA approved.
Be strong and last long. Like geisha.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Friday edition of Kickoff, proudly brought to you by Shell and Lesheho. My name is Gabi Ofe. Coming up this morning, it's match day for Ghana's Black Meteors. They are up against Guinea later tonight in the U23 AFCON. Ibrahim Tanko has been speaking ahead of that big game. We'll get to hear from him in a bit. Also, Chelsea's Mason Mount set to become Manchester United's first summer signing ahead of the new season. All right, so my name is Gavi Ofe. Let's head to Morocco first because there's one job to take care of by the Black Meteors in the U23 AFCON. They come up against Guinea later tonight at the IBN Batuta Stadium at 8 p.m. Ghana must beat their Guinean counterpart in a bid to qualify for the semi-final stage of the ongoing tournament. Ibrahim Tanko is gaffer for the Black Meteors. He insists the team is determined to win against Guinea and qualify to the next stage of the competition. We'll get to hear from Ibrahim Tanko first and defender Edmond Akomentor.
Yeah, we are happy to be here, and we are happy that we have our last game, and definitely we want to go to the next stage, and by doing so we have to win our game, and I think the team is prepared, and the technical team, everyone is prepared, and
I think we are here for only winning, but nothing else, because let me say we are here for win, but nothing else.
All right, first you heard Black Meteors head coach Ibrahim Tanko and defender Edmond Ako Mensah speaking ahead of the game later tonight. So, well, let's stay with the Meteors and Yusuf Chipsa. He's a member of Ghana's Olympic team to play at the 2004 Olympic Games in Greece. He believes Ghana's chances of qualifying to the semi-final stage lies in the hands of the team despite the drubbing at the hands of host nation Morocco.
Well, I think we have our destiny in our own hands. It wasn't a good game against the Moroccans. Obviously, they were a better side. But yes, as I said, we just have to win against Guinea and still qualify for the semis. So all hope is not lost yet. We just have to step up and win the last game. Look, every game is not easy. I mean, going into a tournament, there is no way you should underrate or undermine any country or any team that has qualified for the tournament, because just the qualification tells you a lot that that team is not a bad side, or it's a strong team, or it's a good side.
All right, so that's Yusuf Chipsa speaking to City Sports that he was part of that team that played at the 2004 Olympic Games in Greece. So that game is later at 8 p.m. tonight. Same time, we'll see Congo take on host nation Morocco, and the Moroccans have already qualified to the next phase of that tournament. Now, into some club football stories, and Accra Hearts of Oak have parted ways with Central African Republic striker Yassan Auchen. After an underwhelming 2022-23 league season, Auchen struggled to find the back of the net in 12 league games, raising concerns about his ability to perform at the highest level. Speaking of departures, Daniel Anawalker has also parted ways with Summertex 1996 after just a season where he led the team to a 10th place finish in the 2022-23 season. Summertex, they won 12 games, drew 10 and lost 12 under the former Great Olympics gaffer there. Now let's get to Europe and Kevin Campbell. He's a former Arsenal striker. He believes the club's investments in the transfer window this season shows they can go on and have another impressive season. The Gunners have completed the signing of Kai Havertz from Chelsea and are on the verge of completing deals for West Ham's Declan Rice and Jurriën Timber from Ajax.
I am delighted Arsenal are making moves
The club have said in the past that there was a certain way how they're going to do things. I think this summer was going to be very important to how the club moved. Finishing second last season is going to be interesting. There was a lot of speculation, but getting Havertz, securing Rice, which isn't quite done yet, but it will get done. Jurriën Timber, I think Arsenal are really restocking to have another good season ahead.
All right, Arsenal restocking to have another good season. That's the words of Kevin Campbell. He's a former Arsenal striker. Well, Manchester United, they've agreed a deal with Chelsea to buy Mason Mount for £55 million. We understand the deal includes a potential £5 million of add-ons, strongly dependent on his appearances and success with the club. The 24-year-old is understood to have agreed a 5-year contract with an option for a further year. And Roberto Firmino, Liverpool's striker, he's reached full verbal agreement with Saudi Arabian club Al Ahly. Medical test still pending. Final step to get the deal signed in the next few hours, and the contract will be valid until June 2026. So he will join Chelsea's Edouard Mendy when that deal gets completed. So the Saudi teams are raiding the top European clubs with their players. That's a wrap here on Kickoff, proudly brought to you by Shell and Le Hook. We've got more stories for you on citysportsonline.com and on Twitter at citysportsg8. We're back later at 5 p.m. with Sports Flash. My name is Gabriel Fair. Take care of yourself and bye-bye.
Passengers, Mama me 2 minutes per why. Neighbor Cecilia.
Driver, you can't do this in London.
Oh, English, madam. We dear Mr. 1 minute per why. Shell,
Driver, we're in a hurry, please. What's all this about?
Oh, madam. Help me say thank you to Shell. Shell Fuel Save lasts longer and helps us to save more money to do more things. Also, because I'm a member of the Shell Club, I get loyalty points every time I buy fuels that I use to redeem gifts I love. I can get third-party insurance for my car, free medical insurance, provisions for my home, and many more. Shell dey my side. In fact, when I see another Shell station, I will hug everyone there.
Hey, driver, what the fire kwanza?
Hey, English, madam.
Enjoy numerous benefits when you buy fuel from Shell. Get loyalty points to claim third-party car insurance, family medical cover, provisions, and many more for free. Driver, Shell dey your side. Go well.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's go, we improve your life.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Hey, mama.
Even when you're stuck with nothing,
come to Let's go.
No matter your situation,
come to Let's go.
Let's go, we improve your life.
Let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Hey, mama.
Let's go, we improve your life.
Leshego Savings and Loans. Let's improve life.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
One day, an old lady inherited a huge sum of money. Her family worried about how to break the good news to her. They feared that the sudden good news might give her a heart attack. And so they decided the family doctor who was experienced in delivering such news should be the one to tell her. And when he did, surprisingly, she just smiled. Relieved, he asked, "What are you going to do with all that money?" She replied, "I'm going to give you half." The doctor had a heart attack. People are often surprised when we put them first. At FBN Bank, that's what we do. We put you first. Open an account with us today and enjoy mobile banking, USSD banking, shop and pay with our prepaid Visa cards, MasterCard, and many other services designed with you in mind. FBN Bank, you first.
Hey, you ever buy credits where you get up to 20% of your money back before? Make I tell you about Vodafone's demo promo. See, anytime you recharge a demo, you get up to 20%, whether it be short code or your Vodafone cash wallet, or you use credit transfer to your number or someone else. And now you be high tech, so you use my Vodafone app or any payment app. However you do, Vodafone go send you up to 20% cash back into your Vodafone cash account. We'll reload here, but then you enter. Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana Cedi or more in Vodafone's demo promotion and receive 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone demo promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
For Pepsodent, smiles are one of the most important things we have. The problem is, globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. Pepsodent, with maximum cavity protection, helps to prevent the formation of cavities. Pepsodent, because every smile matters. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
This July, get up to 50% off Electroland Ghana Limited products. Massive Discount Bazaar is on again. Get massively discounted electronics and home appliances.
From Electrolux, Samsung, Media, ABB, Nasco, Homeland, and good news, Toshiba is having a clearance sales.
From Friday to Sunday, 7th, 8th, and 9th of July, 9 a.m. each morning at Coca-Cola Roundabout Spintex. Items are a mixture of brand new, slightly used, scratched, showroom display, repaired, and dented.
Call 050-315-9739.
EGL, home of electronics and affordable luxury.
Mosquitoes come through your door, kill it, will kill them for sure. Hey, kill it, will kill them for sure. Kill it, insecticide spray, kill it, mosquito call. Anywhere them day, we've got kill it today. Intuntum nintefre, kill it. Wow and wow, kill it. Mosquitoes and insects, kill it. So they come there, kill it. Intuntum nintefre, kill it. Wow and wow,
Have you heard? Kill It is back and available nationwide at all shopping outlets. Buy what kills mosquitoes, cockroaches, and all flying and crawling insects. Use Kill It Insecticide's strong and long-lasting formula that leaves a lingering sweet aroma. Buy Kill It Insecticide. This product is FDA approved.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. Show. Rise above the noise.
Two after 8. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show live on your dial 97.3 FM. Friday the 30th of June, 2023. Queen Latifah and Tony Rebel with the song Weekend Love. A few minutes ago, kickoff was brought to us by Lecheho. Did you know that for over a decade, Lecheho Savings and Loans has been supporting the investment goals of its customers with attractive solutions? Yes, we have always been a safe haven for depositors who value security as well as competitive returns. Now, with easy access to track your funds, we offer flexible deposit products for 91 days, 182 days, and 365 days. Open a fixed deposit account today. Call us on 0577 707 700 and let's achieve your goals together. Lecheho Savings and Loans, a trusted haven for your investments. Let's improve lives. And Shell also brought us kickoff. Shell has introduced to our market Shell Helix HX3 20W50. The right multi-grade motor oil that meets the demands of commercial vehicles that run on petrol engines. Shell Helix HX3 20W50 contains additives that protect the engines of older vehicles while reducing maintenance costs. There's no substitute for good motor oil in your car. With time, all engines age and experience wear that can severely shorten engine life, especially for older, higher mileage engines. Now, the new Shell Helix HX3 20W50 comes in 3 sizes: drum, liter, and 1. So the drum is 209 liters. You have the 5 liters and the 1 liter. Shell Helix, designed for ultimate engine performance. Go well. Now, Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients that seal invisible and tiny holes in your teeth. And this prevents cavities and keeps your teeth strong and mouth healthy. Because when we eat, food gets trapped in there. So you need Pepsodent Cavity Fighter to make sure everything is fine on the oral side of things. Call 0800 200030 and always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent, every smile matters. Now, in life, when you find what you like or when you find the best thing, stick to it. Bell Pack paper tissue is one of those best things in life. Switch to Bell Pack today and experience the perfect paper tissue. To be a distributor, call 0551 144 400. Bell Pack paper tissue is another quality product from Bell Aqua.
This one goes out to all my women, my strong women.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
With a smile and a style, she'll protect you like a child. That's a woman. She'll put a smile upon her face and take you to the higher place. So don't you underestimate strength of a woman.
Citi 97.3. Accra.
So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman. With a smile and a style, she'll protect you like a child. That's a woman. She'll put a smile upon her face.
one. This one. Hey, Charlie. This one. I feel Waja Alexander. We used to call him A-Cube back in the day, proper college. A-Cube.
So it's Apia.
Alexander. Yeah.
Apia Abuaji Alexander.
Now, a learned colleague of yours.
Very well.
Yes.
No.
From leading shopkeeper of Prepper College to a learned colleague, and he has a powerful message for his sweetheart. And he says, I know that every added year is a rude awakening of how we are aging. The beautiful part of it is that we are getting wiser and more experienced. Don't forget that we are like the Chinese bamboo. We spend so many years in the soil without germinating. But once we shoot out, we grow taller than any tree around us in the shortest possible time. We are still on the right path, and so be ready for the embarrassment of success in wealth.
Thank you.
Keep trusting, keep hoping, keep believing, because they are the visa you need to the territory of the happiness that awaits us. Hey, happy birthday. He says, happy birthday, my intelligent, beautiful, supportive, tenacious, and sweet wife. My wish for you is true happiness and anything that brings about that. From himself, A-Cube, from the children, Nokware, Nyamiadum, and Intiasie. And this is to Audrey Apia Abuaji. Audrey Apia Abuaji. So A-Cube to Mrs. A-Cube.
Audrey Apia Abuaji.
Yeah, she's also A-Cube.
I'm in your view. No, proper selection.
Yeah. You know, I've always been shocked that A-Cube became a lawyer.
Oh, really?
He was in the business class.
Oh, I see.
He's always had a thing for accounting and numbers and stuff like that.
Doing some wild calculations.
Yeah. He used to, run. We have this. Every house used to have a shop. He used to run the most successful one, Pearson House's shop.
I see.
Oh yes, his shop was booming. He used to sell. You know, if you want to write a letter,
he used to sell all those the writing paper.
The writing paper with the lavender. And he had the goodies. He had the good. He was the plug.
The one they draw rules on it.
Yeah. Sky.
Oh yeah.
You were writing extensively.
Oh yeah.
Down secondary school. P.O. Box.
Yeah.
P.O. Box what? P.O. Box what? As I sit on my stool watching the light hit the coast.
Thank you.
My sweetheart at what was the school you were writing to?
Good day, Georgia.
At Georgia Senior High. This is Richard Della. And then you do some artwork. Because Sky is artistically gifted.
Yeah.
I was drawing the tree myself, my guy. On my field pen, and then I would do the drawing. In fact, I actually drew and sold to others. I mean, people wanted to write love letters.
We're using the colored pen. You know there were different pens for different occasions.
So because I was doing visual arts, we had calligraphic pens. So, either you use that, which is basically foreign, and when you're lucky. So there was a gentleman, Mr. Vonyo, Gilbert Vonyo. He had come in to teach us for a short while, and he was very good to me. He taught us general knowledge in arts, and he gave me some pens, calligraphic pens. Yeah, that's right. So those I was using. And then also, you can use bamboo when you shape it properly, right? And you have a proper ink, you can use it to do calligraphy. So that together with other things I would use to design the writing.
You're making money.
Oh, yeah. You use that to get it. Because, I mean, in secondary school, people were so serious about finding love and relationship. And, Sparkle was not so far away. But you still have to get a letter delivered. Either you post it or you go there yourself. And then you have Ketasco, you have... what do you call it? Josec, which is Georgia Secondary School, Georgia Secondary School, and many other, So people want to send their love letters, and you supply them every now and then. And I wrote
quite well.
Yes.
You have the gift.
So good morning to all those of you who used to write brilliant love letters to your
friends.
Your friends. Yeah, your friends.
School today with full power.
Boys were writing to themselves.
You know, and the times when you can receive this one letter.
That's right.
It can improve your mood.
Your rating. Your rating.
Especially when they mention your name at assembly, right?
It reminds me of a story. There was a time we had this senior, when we were in Form 1, he was in Form 3, Senior Moses. That was his surname. And rumor went around that we were getting a visit from Wesley Girls High School.
Thank you.
And, you know, our affiliates are Yasantwa, but he had a personal preference for Wesley Girls High School, you know. So we are asleep. This is like 3rd week of school, 1 a.m. on a Saturday. Now, this senior normally has nothing to do with cleaning or anything. In fact, this senior will wake up late and be not even sure for morning assembly. 1 a.m. Bing, 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 wake up. What is it? He has been told that Wesley Girls Senior High School, a select group of young women are visiting Prempeh College. And so he is supervising scrubbing of our house.
Because you have to put your house in order.
I'm telling you, Sky, we scrub from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Hey, wherever it is you are, good morning. That is all I will tell you. Hey, I know the worst part.
No.
Everybody
Hey! So upon all the scrubbing,
we finished the scrubbing like 2 o'clock. This guy has he has locked the bathhouse and has gone to sleep. And we are sitting. We are just sitting in the washroom. Hey, Senior Martin.
A few more birthday messages coming in. This one says, tomorrow is my son's birthday, Junior Godwin Togbo. Okay, may God bless him and grant him long life and prosperity. He turns 2 today from his dad, Godwin Senior.
This one says, good morning, Team CBS. Can you wish my son, Abrantia Obeng Opokuware, a happy birthday. He's 4 years today. He's coming in from Fred Oware in Soutuom.
All right, a few more announcements. We'll be getting into we have a number of things to talk about this morning. We'll give you an update on the Agenda 111. You may have heard us talk about it in the newspaper review. I also mentioned it on the portal. But I'll just give you a proper feel of the event and what exactly was said there. I'm sending your comments on 0549 986 996. But times are hard, and the one thing on everybody's mind is cash, 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 and more cash. Whether it's cash to pay bills or sort out fees or do home improvements or for your building project, Societe Generale Ghana has got your back. They've brought the Yatiso Loans promo. They are offering amazingly discounted interest rates on their loans for customers and non-customers, including staff of the Controller and Accountant General payroll. And all these people can enjoy access to heavily discounted loan rates. Get a loan by visiting any of the bank's 42 network outlets or call 030-214-314. Remember, the promo ends on the 7th of August 2023. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you. Now, discrimination and stigmatization against persons living with HIV and TB is a major thing. Now, these two things, stigmatization and discrimination, they are major human rights barriers affecting the uptake and quality of health services and other support systems available. We want to turn the situation around. That's why WAPCAS and WILDAF have joined forces to do so. If you want to be part, or if you want to speak up, call 0800 123 555 or 0204 917 521 or 0598 235 353. Are you hungry or you need something to hold you down in the interim? Get your hands on Royal King Cracker. They are adding extra crackers in each pack for you. So take chalk the hunger and tackle the wache after that. Royal King Cracker, take chalk your hunger. Now, from July 1 to August 31, your favorite mall, Accra Mall, is doing some great things. They've brought the Scan and Win promo. All you have to do is that go there and find the hidden QR code signages placed inside the mall. All right, now put on your adventure hat, scan these codes, fill in your details, and voila, you win amazing shopping vouchers, exclusive gifts from their fantastic shops. What are you waiting for? Let's turn your shopping into a winning spree. T's and C's apply. We can't wait to see you at Accra Mall, where every visit is a win. 0549 986 996. That's the text and WhatsApp number. So, like I said in the newspaper review earlier, We gave you some stories. Some of the newspapers carried the Agenda 111 story.
Yes, I mean, it was on the graphic front page. It was on the front page of the Ghanaian Times as well, and a number of other newspapers. In fact, the Chronicle even had a story
on contractors and all of that. Kojo Nkrumah, who is Minister of Information, he's revealed that 88 hospitals out of the Agenda 111. So there are 111 hospitals, and he says 88 of that number are currently under construction. Now, the project was started in 2021 in August with the promise of completing the work within 18 months. But there were challenges and all of that. So yesterday at Shede, where the first one was started, Kojo Nkrumah was saying that, or he said that 88 were currently under construction, and they were grouped into 8 zones. And in those 8 zones, there were 54 projects that were happening. So in total, 88 of those projects were underway. Now let's get a report from Edward Opoma, who's Bureau Chief of the Middle Belt. He was reporting from Chede in the Ashanti region, just giving us an update or giving us a feel of whatever happened yesterday, and we'll get a better understanding of the updates in terms of the Agenda 111 project.
The President on August 17, 2021, cut short for the construction of the 111 hospitals and assured of completing work within 18 months. Under the project, 101 district hospitals, 7 regional hospitals, 1 national psychiatric hospital, and 2 regional psychiatric hospitals are supposed to be constructed. While some projects started shortly after the shortcutting, Citi News checks in some districts showed that many of the projects were bedeviled with a number of challenges as authorities struggled to get suitable places to commence construction works. At Asokore Mampong, for instance, Citi News gathered that a designated area which was waterlogged initially posed a number of challenges. Many Ghanaians have thus raised doubts on the government's seriousness to work on the projects. The minority in Parliament, even in January 2023, raised concerns about a delay in commencement of work on the projects and indicated that government is not committed to it. This was when the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta Kando, spoke to journalists during a visit to the proposed site of the Akrofrom District Hospital in the Ashanti region. But speaking to journalists at Trede in the Ashanti region, where the project was launched 2 years ago, Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Siansari, assured that there is available funding and as such, work will not stall.
There's no site which has abandoned. The sites that are not being working are sites which have either topographical issue, land size issue, or we didn't have land. I know where they were talking about. They went to, I think, Kwabrakau in Obuasi. They went to Akrofrom. Akrofrom, when they went there, they saw machines there. The land was being prepared. There was a serious topographical issue there. There was some, rocks under the ground. So now they've managed to do all of them, and we went there 2 days ago, and they have started working again. Government will all what has started. That is the vision and the aim of His Excellency the President, to commission them before the midnight of 6th of January 2025. All those that we have started.
Dr. Anthony Siansari further added that when completed, this will help address issues related to graduate unemployment, particularly with respect to nurses and other health workers.
This is a huge employment opportunity. There are about 101 district hospitals, 7 regional hospitals. We employ, even a typical district hospital like this, the total number of people that we employ here will be more than 100. So if you multiply 100 by this, so they will be reassured. We are even giving employment. This year we have given a financial clearance for people to be employed. Where we are standing is what you call the commerce area. So food will be served here for people who are coming here. So somebody can come here, get a place, and then put something here and then sell it from the town here.
On his part, Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah noted that so far, 88 out of the 111 projects are under construction. He added that the contracts of some non-performing contractors have been terminated.
The project targets 111 projects. The brief I have is that 88 are currently under construction. It's grouped into 8 zones. In those 8 zones, you will find 54 projects. We have visited 33 sites so far. And we thought that today, coming to Trede, which is where it all began, it's important to showcase from Trede all that has gone on so far. We have also provided you with the reports of the sites that we have visited so far. The majority of them that are doing well, the few of them that are behind schedule. We've also updated you on the ones we've had to terminate because they are behind schedule.
According to Dr. Anthony Siasari, the Chumakwanwoma District Hospital being constructed at Trede, which is 62% complete, is expected to be completed by the end of 2023. For residents in the area, they lament that they face serious healthcare challenges, and as such, they want government to complete the project as early as possible.
Hospital hono intime pa de me pese nka na yesra na akufo ade se wonye ne ntem emaye
yedi ka se na se ne wom de ya ka ne se oma omani nko ho na afi data mo settle se omdi ace no omusin kama maye na afi no yenso yenya kwane nkum.
The government is assuring that it won't abandon the Agenda 111 projects across the country. And in fact, government is insisting that they'll be able to complete all these projects before the end of President Akufo-Addo's second term. For Citi News, I'm Edward Upon Marful, Trede, Ashma-Kwanwoma District, Ashanti Region.
So that's Edward Upon Marful's report from Trede. So for somebody, if you wanted an update on the Agenda 111, there you have it. The target is 111 hospitals or health facilities and 88 under construction. And like you heard, the information minister said, some of them faced some challenges. So some had to be terminated, like he said. You know, especially those that were behind schedule, they've had to be terminated. So, Godfrey, good news. I don't know how you feel about this. In 2021, you know, we are almost 2 years after the president started this, or he launched this, or cut sword, and he said in 18 months it would be done. I think we've gone past the 18 months or so, but we are here at least 88 per what the information minister is saying. At least those ones are happening and they are being constructed.
Well, it's an update. We'll take it as it is. Okay, it's an update. We've not had an update on this project for some time.
That's true.
And so it's good that an update has emerged, because healthcare and access to healthcare is something that we've always been concerned about. And this is something that became very important for the president and the government during the period of the pandemic, when people were struggling to access healthcare, and when we did not have places for people to be quarantined and the likes. And the president saw the COVID pandemic as an opportunity to try and solve some of the issues around access to healthcare that we have. Thus, the launch of Agenda 111. And it came with its own criticism. Yep. Those who said it was overly ambitious, that, again, you did not need 101 hospitals. You could have supported the ones that were already in existence, expanded some. You could have done it in phases, perhaps start with 20 and then just build on it. You don't necessarily need to say, I'm building 101. You know, basically, you are solving the problem once and for all. And then, of course, it came with these issues. We recall the health minister making complaints about permits for land. Some chiefs were not releasing land. Then money became an issue, of course, because of the country's dire financial situation. And so we've not had much progress on some of these. And one of the criticisms of this project has been that till date, there isn't even one that is usable. That is in operation, considering the fact that the original timeline for this was 18 months.
Yes.
And that's long gone. Okay. So it's good that we have an update, 84 contracts awarded, 54 have started. In January, CTFM spoke to the health minister. He said, quote, out of the 101 district hospitals, 55 sites are progressing. 46 have various challenges and will be held back a little. This was in January. 55 sites are progressing. As we are, we have 54 have started and at the pair hit the report 50. On the average, he said, according to Dr. Nsiasari, who's accompanying Kojo Ponkumo on this, says most of the contractors have done about 52% of works at all the project sites. And as of January 2022, when the health minister gave an update on this, they were at 35% per the update he gave.
Okay.
So those who are into construction and know more about these things can do the mathematics. Is it good progress from January last year, 35% on 101 facilities, to now 52% out of the, of work that is being done on the average at all the sites. Again, that 55 sites are progressing. On this tour, they visited 33 out of the 54 sites. If you look at the president, I think the last time he gave an update, this was a while back. Let me see. Okay, so the president in March 2022, again, spoke about this, and says, I am able to say that a great deal of the preparatory work has now been completed, and work has started at 87 of the 111 sites. So, again, those who like numbers, the president in his this was the State of the Nation address.
Okay.
Said work had started at 87 of the 111 sites, and I have been assured that preliminary work on the remaining 24 sites is ongoing. So if we are to take this, 84 contracts awarded, but 84 contracts awarded does not mean 84 projects started. So they are saying 54 have started, according to this. But at the State of the Nation, the president said work had started at 87 of the 111 sites. What did he mean by work had started? What does that encompass? And that preliminary work. So basically, he separated the things. So 87 work, then preliminary work, perhaps groundwork on that sky, if it makes sense, on 24. So we will take this new update. Obviously, there was some confusion over the numbers, if we are to go with that. The new update from the people who have been on the ground, Honorable Kojo Ponkroma and Dr. Anthony Nsiasari, they are saying that 54 of them are under construction, 88 contracts being awarded. 54, 88, 54 under construction, 88 contracts awarded at 52% completion rate. We will keep an eye on it. That is the best we can say. I still think that the government has to show where some of the budgetary allocations for this will come from, considering where we are with the economy, which one of them will be ready at what time. I'm sure they will push to get at least one or two ready so that we can move. But it's a positive. So far as there has been an update, I don't want to dwell too much on the confusion around the numbers and what work is going. I will go with the new update. So now we have moved from 87 to 54. So we'll work with the 54.
54 projects have started.
Hopefully they give us more updates, as they continue.
That's important. The Chronicle, Richard, and that was a story you read that some contractors had been taken off the project for not meeting the standard. I don't know if we maybe we'll see if we can get into.
Yeah, I mean, but the specific details, Mr. Dr. Nsiasare did not provide the details of the companies.
He didn't mention the names of the companies.
So, according to the story, he said that they were not happy with the performance of these contractors, and therefore they have been relieved of their duties.
I see.
I'm not so sure what that means in terms of whatever contractual obligations there may be.
The legal side of things.
Because I mean, we want to be sure that they have followed the due process of law in terminating the contract, because we do know the number of legal actions that have been mounted in our courts challenging unlawful termination of contracts between private citizens or their companies and the government. Some, in some cases, resulting in judgment debt and all of that. But then also, I mean, contractual documents or contracts between the government and the state, the government and private companies and individuals would always have termination clauses. So if the government is properly advised that, look, its rights are not being properly protected in the circumstances of the contract, they are entitled to terminate. So unless we are given the specific details of what exactly went on and how the contractual obligations came to be breached, for which reason the government decided to terminate, it will be difficult to actually look into the fine details of it. But I think Gottfried has done quite a good job on this matter, except to say that you see, it would seem that we need a more robust monitoring of what exactly is going on.
Okay.
And that level of monitoring ideally should come from Parliament, because they are the protectors of the public purse. They are the vanguards, they are the guard dogs around the public purse. The government came to tell us in Parliament that they intended to do this. The announcement was originally made by the President during his fellow Ghanaians.
Yes, one of the COVID updates.
Exactly. But subsequently, the Finance Minister went to Parliament with a budget and all of that. So ideally, the expectation would have been that the Government Assurances Committee, which is the committee responsible for enforcing assurances given to the House and committees of the House, would have been very much interested in this matter. I've been surfing the internet on reports that may have been carried on this particular matter, specific to the Government Assurances Committee, but it doesn't seem as though there is anything really useful on it. Yeah.
So are you saying that in principle, in the workings of or as this is coming together, or in the design, you should have the Government Assurances Committee playing a central role in
that's right.
Supervising everything.
Exactly, because of course, I mean, the minister came to provide assurances and timelines were provided to Parliament as to when they intended to finish and all of that. So if there are delays, those delays must be explained. For some reason, this committee hasn't been as effective, at least just going by media monitoring. It hasn't been as effective as it used to be. Previously, it was looking into the assurances made by ministers and holding them to it, at least to some extent. But these days, I'm not seeing the level of rigor that is needed to hold government ministers accountable for promises they make to the House. The alternative, of course, is to have the Committee on Health, which is directly relevant to matters having to do with hospitals and health-related issues, to go into these matters. Again, it would seem that we've not had a lot of work on this particular matter. So I think what is left is for members of Parliament who are so minded, especially those whose constituencies are hosting some of these project sites, to take up the matter properly on the floor of Parliament through a question or a statement on the floor, inviting the appropriate ministers to come and speak to the issues emerging. It is great, as Godfrey said, that at least for a very long time we've not had an update on the situation, but now we do have an update. That's a good one. And then there is also an indication that the project hasn't exactly stalled, so something is going on, which is good news. We expect that these things will be finished in good time. The problem is that if you start a project, we also all know what's happening with, funding and many other issues with government. If you are not going to finish the project in record time, although some of the projects, I don't know, may well be marked in US dollars, the fact that you delay completion of the project means that the cost is likely to vary subsequently. So I would insist and plead with those who are members of parliament to take up the matter and push for the appropriate answers on the situation so that we can get a proper understanding of where we are and some commitments made thereafter.
So listening to the Citi Breakfast Show, you can send in your comments on 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. If you just tuned in, we've just been, chit-chatting a little about the agenda 101, the update given yesterday. And if you can visit citynewsroom.com. The quotes are there, the stories are there, the numbers are there. So the update is that, some work is progressing.
What is interesting, you remember when the Senyo Hosi and his people decided that they were going to mobilize resources as private citizens to put up the hospital that is, what's the name of the hospital? They have a name for it. It's the one
the infectious disease center.
Exactly, yes. And they did it in record time, right? And largely within budget and all of that. So I think government institutions and government appointees and persons who are using the public purse would have to learn from these examples. I understand the difficulties that we've always had with government funding of public sector projects and all of that. But this is an important matter. The matter we are talking about, health, and taking health to the people is an essential matter. So anything that would help improve the lot of our people in the area of health would ensure that the distance between them and the nearest hospital is cut short. It's something we must all support. And so when it is going on, it's great. We've had an update, but they should do more. And I would insist that the relevant members of parliament should take up this matter and get some serious updates on it beyond what the minister goes to tell the press. Because, sometimes what you tell the press is really inconsequential. It is when you go and make a commitment on the floor of parliament that you can properly be held accountable in the true sense of the word in terms of parliamentary accountability and all of that.
Some messages are coming in on 0549 986 996. We'll go through some of them. People asking very interesting questions.
Us too.
And all of that. So, Richard, kindly.
Let me take this one. This one says, good morning. The district hospital for Angloga district has been sited not in Angloga, but a village about 20 kilometers from Angloga. Meanwhile, there is a health center with a huge land space in Angloga, which could have been upgraded to a district hospital. For whatever reason, no one knows. Attendance will greatly be affected due to the distance from the town. It is sad. This one is coming in from BB, who is listening to us from North Kaneshi. Well, I think, I don't know what level of engagement or consultation went on and what would have informed the decision. Ideally, you would expect that the member of parliament of that constituency, the Angloga area, Anglo constituency, and the
DCE or MCE,
the chiefs in the area, and serious opinion leaders within the constituency and the district or the municipality would have been consulted on this matter. So if it is the case that is located some 20 kilometers away, that's some way. But I think the authorities would have to explain to us what informed the decision. Let's take more comments coming in. This one says, "Good morning, Nathan. Why do you start a new one whereas the already existing hospitals are not in good shape, including the La General Hospital, which was pulled down? Till date, not a single block has been laid there. Our nurses are leaving in droves, you say. In fact, there are serious fundamental issues we've got to deal with before the new ones are put up." This is coming in from Jones Adoboy, who is sending us that one in. There's the La General Hospital. It's particularly, I don't know what about that what's going on.
I don't know.
I don't understand it because it's been more than a year, right?
Yes, it has been more than a year.
But what does it normally take? Why they are leaving the
Well, I think we actually did, if I recall, Nashika Caesar did a report on
Mhm.
why there were delays on that particular project.
Yeah, but
because it was supposed to be a very quick project.
Yeah.
Because it's a very important medical facility. But well, here we are.
You know, because of that, we're told it's putting pressure on Lekma Hospital, and then also the regional hospital here in the Greater Accra region, and then also the polyclinic that is nearby. I think, of course, I appreciate the fact that so many years ago, when I was much younger, a reporter, I went there to do a number of stories regarding cholera and some other issues. And if you looked at the conditions of the working staff and then also the state of the building as of that time, very precarious. So I understand that government that is minded to protect workers and patients and everybody who would normally visit the hospital would intervene and pull the building down. But if you pull it down, something must happen quickly. You don't leave it there, and all kinds of things will be happening to the land. So I think we expect our MPs to do more. You know, it's not all about by-elections, and we expect them to do more, a lot more advocacy on these matters, so that we get the right results. More comments are coming in. This one says, "Come to lie and see. The advisor on health said there is no problem with cash. Why is the La Hospital not seeing anything at all?" This one is coming in from Ni Odoe in La. Dr. Odei Ansong says this morning that our duty as citizens is to ask if these hospitals will address our current health needs. If it's the normal chamber and hall hospitals for primary care, and then chamber also, chamber hall, that is a waste of money, because they would all refer their cases to the limited teaching and regional hospitals we have. We must be asking for a hospital for secondary and tertiary care to manage and reduce outside country referrals. But I mean,
it's a solid question Dr. Deanson is asking.
Yeah, it's a great question. But the specific hospitals, the Agenda 11 hospitals, these are proper functional hospitals with multiple beds. They are not one of those 2x4, cheap compounds or small town hospitals.
No, I don't think that's what he's saying. Like, it's what the kind of equipment that will go into it that will determine. So the structure can be there, but the kind of equipment that it operates and the kind of personnel that it operates will determine whether it's
a chamber
and hall hospital or something that will take pressure off other facilities. You understand? So we will wait and see.
Okay, more comments coming in, and we'll be reading them as we go along. 054-998-6996, 054-998-6996. I know that there are, for instance, the Honorable Minta Kando is the spokesperson on health, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
the minority
spokesperson on health. Yes, I think it should be filing some new questions on this particular matter. Generally, the majority side would not do it. For some reason, they will not. It's basically what majorities normally do. If they would ask any question at all, it's about their constituencies and friendly questions here and there. But the questions that actually demand accountability, routinely or traditionally, are questions filed by the minorities. So would expect that, yes, Honorable Akando has been doing a great job thus far, took on the Ministry of Health in matters of COVID and all of that. But I think there is need for greater scrutiny and accountability demanded of the government so that we can get proper oversight done by Parliament.
8:48, this is still the Citi Breakfast Show. Your comments are welcome on 0549986996. But very important questions we are asking, especially the La General Hospital, because the people living in that vicinity have complained bitterly, really, about the fact that now that the hospital doesn't exist, like you said, there's pressure on other facilities, and the people living in that immediate catchment area now need to find alternatives. And maybe the situation could be so dire that, Charlie, the trip from one point to the other to seek healthcare, it may be too late to save a situation. So I'm with you on the calls for the government to give us a good update on the state of the construction of the La General Hospital, when it would start, when are we expecting it to end, because clearly the La Polyclinic, as we know it, is the weight and pressure on it serving the number of people in that area and even adjoining areas. The La General Hospital can't take the numbers. Places like Lekma and things may be a little far off. So yeah, we expect the government to give us some answers. There's a message that's
the report indicated that 88 projects are under construction.
Yes.
And these 88 are grouped into 54 zones, not 54 projects ongoing, as Godfred understood. Well, I'm just reading from what the text said.
Yes.
So
but
why would you? So what are the 54 zones? What are the?
Okay, let me read the quotes from Kojo Ponkrumah. Maybe to bring some clarity. He says, quote, "The brief I have is that 88 are currently under construction. And the 88 are grouped into 8 zones. Now, in those 8 zones, you will find 54 projects." I don't know whether I provide clarity.
Again.
So he says the brief that he has is that there are 88 under construction. And I'm reading the quote as I see it. And it is grouped into 8 zones. And in those 8 zones, you will find 54 projects.
So 88 construction.
Yes, it says 88 are under construction. And they've been grouped into 8 zones. And in the 8 zones, you find 58 projects. So does it mean 58, 54 are under construction?
Whichever way. Okay.
So that is that's the update from the information minister.
You see, that's why I was saying that we can play up these numbers here, but there's really no accountability. I mean, the media people can only do so much, right? At the level of Parliament, a lot more rigor is attached to questions and answers that are provided. You understand? At least to some extent. So if you go to Parliament, you cannot go and file a misleading answer and mislead the whole of Parliament. There are consequences that come with that. So we are confused about which number to go with.
Because
I think clarity is necessary. And the only way to resolve that properly, so-called, is when it is raised on the floor. And a member of Parliament is asking a question or filing a statement to that effect. So I would reiterate my point. That is a matter that Parliament would have to take up.
Parliament needs to be very interested.
Because they are expending our money, and we have to know how much is being expended on what, and where are we at the moment? How many hospitals are we talking about? But
We just want just count the number for us. Very simple. Because I feel that some of these classifications add more confusion. You know, it's 88 under construction. Then you say 8 zones. Then you say 54 projects. So does it mean 54 projects equals 88 hospitals? You get the question I'm asking. And the Daily Graphic too has a different set of numbers. It says 84 contracts awarded, 54 start.
Yes, all
the 54 they visited 33. So which zones are those ones in?
You know, this 8 zone and all of
No, but you see,
so let me just read some relevant paragraph.
I don't even want us to dwell on
it. Says Dr.
The updates anyway.
It said Dr. Nsiasare said the monitoring team had so far visited 33 out of the 54 project sites and expressed his satisfaction at the progress of work at all the sites. On the average, he said most of the contractors had done about 52% of works at all the project sites visited, and was hopeful that by the end of the year, majority of them will be completed and commissioned. He goes on to say that he said that so far the Trede project was the one which was at an advanced level of completion, 62%.
This is the one the president launched.
Yes,
that was the first.
The first one.
There's the first. Firstborn.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he goes on. So the numbers, those are the only relevant numbers in the story, really. Those are the only relevant numbers in the story. So I think there's need for some.
That's why I went with the PC. When the president spoke last year, State of the Nation, brief. He addressed it in the terms that everybody could understand. Agenda 111, what does that mean? 101 hospital projects.
111.
111. According to him, work has started at 87 of the 111. Preliminary work on 24. The rest. If you add 87 to 24,
you get 111.
What will you get? Very simple mathematics. So the counting is the basic understanding anybody listening would expect is okay. So is one project is one hospital.
Yes.
So there should be 111
hospitals in the end.
And 111 projects, unless the classification of projects and that this is different. So now we have 8 zones. So perhaps the 8 zones, you could have 2 different projects being one hospital or something. If that is how it's been defined, then perhaps we could have the 54 contracts meaning 3 hospitals. I'm just saying, hypothetically. Or it could refer to 54 hospitals. Yes. I just the breakdown of the numbers should be made far easier. Which is why a lot of the newspapers have reported it the way they reported it and not using the zones and 54 contracts. So 54 sites have been visited. That is 54 hospitals. Is that it? Yes. Of the 54, 52% work is ongoing. That is the measurement. We expect that Trede normal is at 62%, is the exception. So we expect Trede to be completed faster than the rest. These are the updates we've been given.
Yeah.
It should not be a very complicated mathematically that we are now, okay, so the age of 54 is equal to 88, or this one, 111. 88 are under construction. 24, preliminary work was not done. Now you are telling us, okay, 54. You've sacked 3 contractors, so that means you are bringing in 3 different sites. Or, I just think it should be more basic. That's all.
And the NDC started something previously, which I thought was innovative. They were holding press conferences at project sites. I think it was Sami Jimfi and his team who were doing that.
Yes.
That thing has fizzled out, sort of. They dealt with the Galamsey situation. They dealt with some other projects. Perhaps ensuring accountability or holding government holding government more accountable as an opposition party. Of course, the media will do its part. Would also require that they should re-engage this process. because what it did was to keep the heat on the government to do what the people of this country require in order to live a more comfortable life. So if they would be minded, I guess they should take up the challenge from where they left off and return to these project sites with the regular press conferences that they hold. I think it's also unfortunate that as media men and women, we have not done a lot of work in holding government accountable in terms of projects like this. Of course, Citi FM did a fantastic job with the La General Hospital, and eventually something started. But again, the locals are telling us that nothing is happening at the project site presently. But budgetary constraints within media establishments always make it impossible for sustained advocacy on matters like this. So it would be useful if either the NDC's communication machine would re-engage that. People would say that, that will introduce politics into it. But political parties under the Constitution help shape the political views and aspirations of the people of this country. That's what the Constitution says. So they have a role to play there. And it should not only be the NDC. The CPP is there. The only times you hear some of these political parties, every now and then you hear from the CPP. But what's happening to the PNC, Dr. Papa Kwesindum's party? We should not only wait until elections to start talking about these matters. We should count ourselves, like we should play our part.
Yeah.
The whole idea that you wait until by-election and then you emerge, or national election you emerge. Let's stop these things, because we are not helping to deepen the level of options available to our people, so that they know that, you would have handled the Agenda 111 project differently compared to what the government is doing. So, yes, the minority side, Honorable Akando, please, kindly take up the matter on the floor and let's see some progress there. In the alternative, Sami Jemfi, please, you know what to do. You should take up the matter and let's bring some heat onto the... Of course, the Minister for Information has led the way by at least giving us some indication what's happening. But we need greater clarity. And that will not come if there is no heat on the government.
9 on the dot on the Citi Breakfast Show. We'll take a very, very quick break. But before that, Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is designed with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. Why? Because every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped there, and you need to brush your teeth very, very well twice a day with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, so you get 10 times stronger teeth.
You can fight apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know apocalypse.
Call Pepsodent.
Those days in secondary school, some brothers come, everybody's talking. When they open their mouth, everybody... Sometimes people do it just to shut you up.
Anyway,
so I beg you, buy Pepsodent and deal with all the problems you may have. Just clean up the thing, because it's good for all manner of things. And then, partners also, yes.
Yeah, man. Call Pepsodent's Care Center on 0800 200030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
So much so.
Yep. Now, in line with the government's digitalization agenda, First Atlantic Bank's collection platforms gave corporate institutions, SMEs, and individuals easy and convenient payment services for the following: GRA payments, government agency payments, post and prepaid ECG payments, and SNIT Tier 1 pension contributions. Say goodbye to the stress and hassle of payments and switch to First Atlantic Bank's payment platform today. First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. Now, Standard Water has over 25 years of experience in providing quality and refreshing water to quench your thirst. Now, the brand is available in 11 regions, and it is still expanding to cover the rest of Ghana. So if you want water to serve every kind of need you have, be it for your occasions, be it in your home or office, be it bottled water that you want to carry around, or sachet water that you want to put in an ice chest or whatever, Standard Water has you covered. Call them on 0202 055 703 or 0547 334 385. This ad is FDA approved. Now, Old Mutual is 10 years. Join them to celebrate a decade of greatness. They are the first brand to start WhatsApp insurance. They have an annuity package. They have a great claims payment policy, and they've been processing claims for years on end. Call them on 0501 579 204 or visit oldmutual.com.gh for more info. Old Mutual do great things every day. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we have more for you. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, are you worried about your parties, weddings, hangouts, on what drink to enjoy for the celebration? Or you're worried about how to celebrate your friends and family during that special occasion? Now that is Bigo! With Bigo, no wahala for the occasion. They made it for everyone to enjoy and have the ideal celebration. Bigo, the soft drinks that comes in 16 and 20 in a pack. Hey, Charlie, that is Bigo. A lot to go around in various packs. It's refreshing and good quality. Now that is Bigo. The taste is Bigo. Another quality product from Twillium Industries Limited. This advert is FDA approved. Bigo.
I am Florence Japon, owner of Flora Ama Enterprise. We deal in industrial chemicals for making soaps, shower gel, hair conditions, and skin products. I bank with AFSA. My relationship manager introduced me to the AFSA Young African Works program, and I attended the training program. During the program, I got a new idea, which helped me develop a new product called Organics. I also secured a loan from them to introduce the new product and grow my business. My fellow entrepreneurs, I encourage you to open an AFSA account and join the AFSA Young African Works program. It will take your business to the next level.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo all-in-one for you. It's so milky, eh? I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids all-in-one. It's truly milky and rich in calcium. Milo, energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
Jimmy D, there's no need to stand in line to get your money. Don't waste your time waiting for the bank to be open. With ZPay Mobile Money, you can redeem your MoneyGram cash pickup token directly into your ZPay Mobile Money wallet. And now, every first-time user gets 10 Ghana cedis plus airtime as a welcome bonus. Access your money whenever, wherever. Just dial *270# and select option 7 for MoneyGram. Jimmy D, boundless possibilities. Terms and conditions apply.
Out of over 10 million Ghanaians employed, only 1.9 million are actively contributing to SNIT. For most people, their retirement plan is either their children or savings. What if your child is unable to care for you? Long life depletes your savings, or you suffer permanent disability. Financial support from loved ones in your old age is a blessing, but you should not rely solely on them. Whether you're a fashion designer, an online entrepreneur, a lawyer, or a business owner, today, life is good, but tomorrow may be different. Register with SNIT and sign up for SEED for old age pension, invalidity pension, and survivor's lump sum benefit for your nominated dependents. Take control of your future. Ayowudachu, for no pest now. Dial *711*9# to pay your contributions. Contact SNIT on 0302 611 622 or on socials at SNIT Ghana. SNIT, we deliver on our promise. T's and C's apply.
SSNIT.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Asa. Here for one come on. Go fully put dance it down. The level you don't reach. Hey. Now don't they follow me. Cause I has been my own. Chairman no they bother me, cause I day on my own. Yes, can pass it, you see. You want pay my younger so they are CKD. We they play by sizes, I know be a body. Yeah, it's a belly ball in a hand to the shy ready. We make it a goodie. Hey, every day, money day, every day, party day, every day. Every day now holiday. Every day now holiday. Every day now holiday. Every day now holiday. Every day now.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Nine minutes after 9. Kofi Kinata with the song Every Day. It's a wonderful song, wonderful job.
I know, right? It's always on point. This is a great tune. I love playing it. Anytime I'm in my car, you know,
it's on your playlist.
Three songs.
It's one of 3 songs. Yeah. let me see if I can guess. If I can guess, I can guess one of the 2. You play Manoji, right?
Yeah, Manoji. That's the first one you hear me play. Yeah. The last one, you need to bring your bottle of schnapps.
Traditional one.
Meanwhile, let me use the opportunity to actually wish a couple a great 23rd anniversary. So it's been over 2 decades that we came together as man and wife. I thank God for giving me you. Thanks for your tolerance et al. Many more years ahead. I still check you brutal. And the message is coming in from the Honorable Aquinas Kwanzaa, who is a former member of parliament for the Infansiman constituency, and it's going out to the wife, Mrs. Aquinas Kwanzaa.
I see.
Yeah.
let me do a quick birthday to one of our ardent listeners. One of our ardent listeners, she listens to City FM like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, especially Sports Panorama. So she's Efia Lydia.
Okay.
Today is her birthday.
Oh, I see.
So Efia, happy birthday to you. I wish you the very, very best. Enjoy your day. And yeah, have fun. Chill out. Like Kofi Kinata is saying, Charlie, chillo, because you know, yeah, man.
And let me also
almost say we shut down. Charlie Chili be why.
I don't know. Let me also say good morning to Justice Mawululu. You know, a great son of what do you call it, the Volta region.
Okay.
Who is an ardent listener. He's a retired, civil servant. Now at home and always listening and sending in messages to encourage, and then also to tell us to slow down where we have to slow down and all of that. So Justice, yes, we appreciate what you do every morning and the time you spend on your by your radio and then listening attentively and sending us your messages of wisdom. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
For the birthday people, I have something for them. They should go out and get Ribby biscuits.
Ribby
biscuits.
Biscuit's nice.
That's what will, keep the birthday balanced. So it's a great snacking option, whether you're at home or at work. And it can be served at corporate events, funerals, parties, children's, and you can serve it as a children's snack, both at home and at school. Now you can contact M4 Foods Limited on 0531 003892 or 0266 830003. Talk about children's functions. Guys, have you ever noticed that children between the ages of like 1 and 5, their birthday parties are actually not theirs. They are for the adults who show up.
Why is that?
I don't, maybe like, so they are so young. So like if they are 1 year, they are so young, they are still maybe babies technically, and they are still sleeping, or they won't see a lot of the things that's going on. The adults are the ones who come to enjoy the parties. More than the kids. This is from like 5, 6 onwards. That one they are a bit more conscious of what's going on. So now they are the center of the show.
But what's the whole concept behind these 1-year-old celebrations?
Why not? I mean, if your child is 1, the child is 1.
To the house, chaka. Money that you can use for something more useful. You spend it.
So the 1 year. That's what
I'm saying the 1 year birthday is not for the baby. It's for the adults, the ones who get to jump.
People with good intentions will come, and the ones with bad intentions will come. So really, this birthday business is not really my.
Now, what was the last time you heard 10% interest rate collateral free loan and 1 million cedis in one sentence? Never, right? Well, if you're a female entrepreneur, young business owner, or you're into agribusiness, or you're a fintech, we have great news for you. In collaboration with the MasterCard Foundation, ABSA is offering SME loans at only 10% per annum to help you move your businesses to the next level. Get a collateral-free loan of up to 1 million cedis from ABSA to grow your business. For more information, visit the ABSA project office at Ridge in Accra, the nearest ABSA branch, or our website at absa.com.gh to find out more. That's ABSA, that's Africanacity. T's and C's apply. Now, if you're a medium or small or medium scale business owner, SME Plus is what you need to get all your operational costs, or to manage your operational costs in communication. Now, this service allows you to choose from affordable packages, enjoy talk time, SMS data, and business content all bundled in one. The other exciting news is you get free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Simply dial *5060# to sign up today, or call 0244308111 for more info, and stay connected everywhere you go.
Every day, money day, every day, party day, every day, every day na holiday. Every day na holiday. Every day na holiday. Every day na holiday. Every day na holiday.
A few more messages have come through on the number 0549 986 996.
Okay, so let me take this one coming in from Otuo in Abeka. Near La Paz says, so what is the status of the many abandoned hospitals after the change of government? Many of them were almost complete, but were abandoned for them to deteriorate. Sadly, for politics, many new ones have been started without finishing the abandoned ones. So, more comments. This one says, why not build a major facility akin to the likes of Kolebu and the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital? instead of spreading ourselves thin just because of a pandemic. Well, I mean, the reality is that you cannot build teaching hospitals in every district. It's not possible. It doesn't happen elsewhere like that too. There are places where you need primary healthcare. There are places where you need, secondary health.
Which is what Dr. Anson was talking about.
And there are places where you need tertiary healthcare. So the tertiary healthcare, you get those at Kolebu and Kofanoche. 37 is also a tertiary.
And even with UGMC, it's supposed to deal with a specific kind of, patient. So I think with UGMC, is also you're supposed to be transferred.
Referral
from either Kolebu or one of the big ones to UGMC. So there are levels to it. So just a bit more detail on this. So they are building 101 district hospitals.
101 district hospitals.
Brand new, spanking.
As in 101.
101.
Yes. Okay.
6 new regional hospitals in the newly created regions.
So that's 107.
Yeah.
1 new regional hospital in the Western region, because the Fiakwanta one is...
Okay, so they've divided the region into 2, or they are adding another one.
No, if the Fiakwanta is the one that they have, so they are building a new one to replace that one.
Okay.
Then 2 psychiatric hospitals in Kumasi and Tamale.
110.
Okay, so they are building a new regional hospital in the Western region, and then they are rehabbing the Fiakwanta Regional Hospital in Sekendi. And then also the redevelopment of the Accra Psychiatric Hospital. They tried relocating it some time ago.
Yes,
the process is ongoing, but...
You mean the one next to us here?
Yes.
Oh, yes, it's the one not too far from here, yes.
They want to move them?
Yes, sometime back in the news, there were stories to that effect. And I think the hospital authorities were they were fighting back and resisting. So at least that's the breakdown, right?
Yes,
of what goes into, or what's in Agenda 111. All of that. There's 101 new district hospitals, right? There's one that's going to be built in the Western region.
Yes.
To support the Fiankwanta one,
which is being
rehabbed.
Yes.
Then the Accra Psychiatric Hospital will be
redeveloped.
Yes. Sorry.
And then 2 new
at the old site or at the new site?
I don't know. And then 2 psychiatric hospitals in Kumasi and Tamale. So those are...
those are the numbers. So we'll just like some clarity on how many are actually off the ground. All this classification, project zone, we just like basic numbers. How many are off the ground? When you count 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. How many are off the ground? And then we'll live with it.
We're trying to do this thing this morning without controversy. But, it's going to become like 1D1F. What is working? What is not? What is here? What is there? We've never been able to count 1D1F. Even in fact, physically, when you go there to check, and we've tried to do this before, it becomes a problem.
But 1D1F, is it still there?
Yeah, it's there.
And I know Eku juice there.
I've been meeting them.
Yes. I mean, you get to drink it when you go to.
So you're enjoying it.
That one, yes. But I don't know about the other ones.
Time will tell. But with these hospitals, like I said, it's not the only criticism that has come is just the sheer ambition of it.
Oh yeah, and government must be ambitious.
Yeah, no, but this was really, really ambitious, particularly with the concerns, even from experts in the health sector, that this was not what we needed at the time. You needed to rehab a few. There are very specific places that require certain kinds of facilities. Upgrade certain ones, they will be fine. Push health personnel to certain places. But the sheer size of this and the time frame that was this is supposed to be done. This was supposed to be done in 18 months.
Yeah,
a year and a half.
Unfortunately, it's not been done.
Yeah, at a cost of $1.8 billion
together.
Yeah, everything. It's a lot of money. It's not.
That's a lot of money.
So,
but the truth is, look,
it was a great plan. At the time,
I would push back when people say that we should not build more hospitals the way the government has been ambitious. I mean, look, you go to some areas, before you get to the nearest hospital, Charlie, you are already gone. And in some cases, the roads to those places, in some cases, the facilities there I mean, these are not 2x4 hospitals. I mean, my reading of the documents that came before Parliament and all of that. So it is truly ambitious. It would be great if the government is able to accomplish it. You notice that, so when people were criticizing the Mahama government for the free senior high school, not free senior,
the E-blocks.
The E-blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the people of Aflao in the Ketu South municipality, my constituency, previously they have had to come all the way to Town, to go to school. But the decision of the government to do the E-blocks, a decision that was widely criticized by people, sometimes saying that these things were being built in places where no human beings were living and all of that. They situated one in the Aflao area. You remember that the Venerable Togbe Fichi spoke about the delay in completing the project and appealing to the president to do something about it. And we got some response that was not palatable from the presidency on that matter. Subsequently, the good people of the constituency, far and near, decided they were going to put money together to complete it. It's been completed, and now students are going to school there. The point I'm making is that, it is always the case that people would criticize ambitious government projects. Health any day for me is a great thing, similar to education. It might not be useful immediately, some would argue, but the fact is we need to extend health services, social services, educational services to the people. And the closer, the better. We don't need a pregnant woman. One of these roads that we're talking about recently, imagine the pregnant woman using that route just to get to hospital. Something bad will happen. So, yes, if the government believes that it has the funding to do it, they should do it. We should police them and ensure that they do it properly. But I would push back when people are being critical on we don't need these hospitals, let's just upgrade the old ones. Yes, we'll upgrade the old ones, but that doesn't mean that.
I mean, you're right. That's what
we should not build new ones.
We need new hospitals. 9:25. There's still the Citi Breakfast Show. And you're down 97.3 FM. Richard Alaska and Godfrey Dakotobuafa are here with me. We'll try and go through a few more of the comments that are coming in. I mean, the final thing I will say, though, is that I really, really hope the government keeps its eyes open. If 3 contractors have been taken off the project, I hope that they will keep their eyes on all the others. Because very often, we like to engage, we don't hear a lot of talk on the technical side of things. Of course, those aspects are not meant largely for public consumption. But I'm happy that if contractors are not meeting the required standard, they have been taking...
That's good. I just pray
that it will not bring.
That's what I'm praying for.
I will not bring something.
Yeah, it wouldn't bring problems because Charlie, we have had too many judgment debts.
It is true.
So if they are doing it, we believe, we hope that they will do it properly.
Anyway, you're still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Concerning your comments, there's a very interesting one. On what? Okay, we'll get into that. We'll copy that. Somebody seems to have a bit of an issue on their mind.
The school fees matter.
I don't know whether.
It's a school fees matter. I can easily help you with that. It says, "Good morning, Nathan. There's this issue bothering myself and parents as well. It's all related to this year's school fees payment and the short breaks in between. Sky, we're not just raising this matter 2 days ago.
I was telling you're laughing at me.
Can't the government of National Education speak to the private schools on our behalf to reduce the fees for us? At least 15%, between 15 and 30% cut off won't be bad at all. Some parents are even on payment plans and are not even done. And in some days, school is about to resume again. We have to pay another huge amount of fees before feeding, transport, and other related matters. They will soon be vacating again, and shortly school resumes again. where are we supposed to get all this money to pay all these fees within this short time? It is putting a lot of pressure on most of us parents since the government schools are even full, whereby we can't even send our children there. Please, we want the private schools and the Ministry of Education to consider us at these times, and not Okata Joshua from Lakeside Estate. So most of the private schools are on vacation, and it's a 12-day vacation.
12 days?
Yes. Between 12 to 15 days. Most of them are opening school on the 11th. They vacated 2 days ago.
Yeah, but there are those also who are also doing the long vac, so they'll be at home for at least 2-3 months.
Private schools?
Yes, some of them.
Really? Yeah. How are some of them on long vacs? I mean, the system is confusing.
but
it's a
fact
legitimate
is
point.
Yeah, the money, it's something, well.
Because you can discuss this. You were complaining 2 days ago.
Don't go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You have more information on this matter as a current victim of the matter.
Why, Connie?
No, I sympathize with the person who sent that the message in. Honestly, it gets overwhelming. It gets overwhelming. When you open the bill and you see the size of money that you are required to pay, sometimes after 2 weeks or three weeks, in some cases 1 month, it's startling. It's startling. And you look at the size of what you earn and the number of children in some cases you have to take care of. If you are not lucky enough, you have half a football team. That's a huge issue. And it is not just the fees. There are all kinds of things. I mean, sometimes I wonder. I mean, when I was going to school, we were not doing, they say, this thing, ballet, this, what do you call it, swimming, this.
That's for the private school.
Wait, let me make the point.
The public school, nobody's doing ballet there.
This PE, this. All these things help to build confidence. They expose them to all kinds
the
of
modern
things.
students.
But I mean,
it's killing you.
Charlie. and the fees, it not be easy like that. So, yeah, I mean, and tomorrow they will come and say this, this and that, and you have to buy this thing and that. It's not easy, and I feel the pain. I feel it's not,
because there are a lot of parents whose children attend private schools in this country.
Mm-hmm. Because the public
schools
system
is bad.
It's been messed up.
The public school system is bad. Let's be open about it and frank about it. So, I know the retorts cannot be, well, if it's too expensive, take your child to the public school.
No.
Because what you get at the public school, you might as well break your back and pay the ballet fees and whatever fees. But I do the private schools, some of the programs are a bit, exploitative. Let me use that word. Some of the things that they come up with, and they can cook up things. They cook up things that you have to spend money, and you are like, what is happening here? Okay, some of the things, like Richard said, they are good for confidence building. They are good. They are practical aspects of what they are being taught in school. But again, it's a tight economic situation for parents. Okay, so I know some who are dealing with the 15-day vacation.
Mm-hmm.
You say some are doing long term. So the long vac people might get a bit more time to put resources together. But even when school reopens, you have to buy this, you have to buy that, pay for science club, pay for this. Because you don't want your child to be left behind.
Yes. And you have ICT classes emerging. Now you have to do programming, coding, and all of those things.
And they have to do, some of them do the STEM.
Exactly.
It's not even the extra curriculum,
it's
but
part
even as
of
part of
the main thing.
The main curriculum. You have to.
And the thing is that because of the nature of what's done in these schools, right? The approach to teaching and learning. If your son or daughter is not doing it, you know what that does to even the kid.
The confidence.
That's so the colleagues are doing it. She's not doing or he's not doing it. So there's that issue. now he or she will be asking herself, why daddy doesn't love me, and you know, kids have conversations. So there is need for some regulation, which will set a minimum as to what should be done, so that it does not become overbearing, or it does not become burdensome, or it does not, because people are suffocating. Yes, I appreciate the fact that the schools themselves, because of the difficult economic climate we find ourselves in, they are also struggling. But sometimes it can be a stretch. And then also we, the parents, to sometimes family planning is also very key. No. I'm making this point because I know what I'm talking about. 1, 2, yes, it's okay, but 2, 3, 4, 5.
Someone says that
6 becomes a problem.
Schools that do non-refundable admission fees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, some of the schools, if you enter, you cannot turn back.
Once you show up, you are locked in.
Yeah, but you see, the conversation is not just about. It goes back to my pet topic.
The basics.
If the public schools were good, and back in the day, you would recall, last time I was talking to a colleague, not a colleague, one of my mentors. He's a professor at the University of Ghana. He's like, Godfred, I went to a village school.
Charlie, and I turned out fine.
And if you would, most of our parents went to village schools.
Yes.
My dad went to a village school. My mom went to a village school before making the move towards other schools. Those one, you understand. But come to think of it, our generation, where did those of us who had parents who went to school, where did they go to school? Most of them did not attend schools in the city. They went to the LAs, the DAs, those schools. Yes. Even if you look at a certain age group of politicians, you can check their backgrounds and where they went to school.
Yes.
Most of them would not have come even to Accra up until their mid-20s. Yeah. Up until then, they would have attended basic school in their village, preparatory school in their village, middle school in their village, secondary school within the same area. So if you check even a lot of the MPs from up north, most of them are not graduates of the fancy pay.
No.
Most of them would be Tamale Secondary School, Notre Dame, Ghana Secondary School, Navrongo. They went to the schools, Nandom Senior High. They went to the schools in the area and are graduates from basic school in that area. Now, the question you ask yourself is, the schools that they attended 30, 40 years ago, would those schools be producing the same caliber of students? Is the teaching the same? So it's not like we've never had good public schools before. The public school system in Ghana has proven to be a very successful producer of top quality. But somewhere along the line, we seem to have forgotten the use of it's become like a mass collection point of children. What happens there, we don't really care. Right? So we do the barest minimum, which is why last 2 weeks we were having a conversation about there are no desks, there are no whatever. And even back then when the infrastructure wasn't the best, the teaching was really, really good. Okay, so you had the village teacher who
is seen as a god.
Yeah, basically
very much respected.
Impacting knowledge to the young men. If you listen to them, it's really, really things have changed. So we're asking ourselves why? Because I would not mind my daughter having the kind of education my father had at Ekropon Salem. You understand? Because he turned out fine.
Very fine.
Yes, he turned out absolutely fine from attending Ekropon Salem. Okay? The kind of education Richard Sky had at the school that he attended. Please, what is the name?
Adafiano Amalgamated Local Authority Primary.
LA. He went to LA. You understand?
With the greatest respect.
Yes. I'm just saying. Back then, the Kanda cluster of schools, Mamprobi cluster of schools. They used to produce they've always had records. If you check the histories of these schools, they've almost always been solid. But for some reason, yes, numbers went up, but the system has almost left them to their own fate to do what they can do. Okay, we'll provide a few books here and there. Teachers can teach. So the outcomes there at the moment are no longer what they used to be, leading to a lot of parents now thinking private school. Now, the private school too, not all of them are at the same level. There are some private schools that are quasi public schools at the moment. If you look at what they do,
there are public schools masquerading.
There are public schools masquerading as private schools.
I was telling a friend of mine, not to catch. I was telling a friend of mine about Godfrey's classification of private schools, and the person didn't quite understand until we went to a school that was supposed to be a private. And the parent said, "Now it makes sense." I said, "Yeah,
they are tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Yeah. Even if you want to find a tier 4 level of private school, that should not be considered a private school, but because it's in somebody's house and it has a wall, they add international to it. If you are not even careful, they add Montessori. Meanwhile, there's no kind of Montessori teaching, style teaching happening in the school, but it is there. Yeah, you will end up there. So now everybody is focused on that as an outlet. So the mushrooming of private schools was basically a response to people losing trust or faith in the outcomes that they would get in the public schools, which is why we have all this. Other than that, nobody had a problem attending public school back in the day. I don't think it would have been a battle of conscience for your parents to think between an elite private school in your area and the school you attended, looking at the kind of people who were coming out at the time. There's no difference. Your numeracy is on point. Your English language is on point. Your general knowledge is on point. What you know, I know. But it is no longer the same. Now, to attend those schools it means you are starting at a significant disadvantage in all aspects. This is true. There is nothing that you have an advantage in, apart from the world of hard knock life. That is the only advantage you have over a private school kid. So, yes, the cost is a factor. But if the public schools had been fixed, I think you would have people who would not mind, sending their kids to public school. And if you look at some of the public schools that have managed to retain a certain level of independence from the system. So let's take the school at Kolebu, MOH. Ministry of Health. It's a public school. I don't think it's a private school. I stand to be corrected. I don't think it's a private school. But if you look at the quality of MOH,
I know some people who went to MOH,
and they've maintained that standard. There's no difference between somebody who attends MOH and somebody who attends your regular private school. And by that, I mean at least a tier 1 or a tier 2. A tier 2, basic. Doctors send their children there. Yeah, just across. I mean, that's where their children attend school. UPSA. Yeah, sorry. UPS, University Primary. It's a public school. But there's a certain element of control by the university. There you go. Yeah, so standards are really high. This used to be one in Kumasi, I think, state experimental. Then there was also Morfatro. I don't even know what happened to Morfatro. Morfatro used to be like an automatic outlet to Wesley Girls High School. If you attend Morfatro, you will go straight to Wesley. It wasn't even a competition. Who are you to go and compete with Morfatro?
Because rigorous training is...
Of course, I don't even know if it's still there now. I haven't seen it in a while. I don't know if it's still there. Those who attended Morfatro, you can also help me with that. If Morfatro still exists there, So we've been able to create this massive difference between the two, but there are also examples of existing public schools who have managed to maintain based on certain things they have done. So what have they been able to do? Why is it that MOH is not overcrowded? Why is it that they have textbooks? Why is it that the teachers are on point? Because I'm sure there's somebody there who will make sure that these things, even though they are still a very public school. So as for the public school situation, the people at the Ghana Education Service, the Ministry of Health, there's a lot to be done. Because if they fix it properly, they can save parents a lot of money. Because parents then will also bring their kids. Look, you could even, if you want to, increase the fees slightly at the public school. I don't even think parents will mind.
Once output goes.
Once the parent shows up there and sees that, okay, my child has a desk and a table, we'll get a meal. The textbooks are there.
Teachers
show up on time. Obviously, when you come and you're having a conversation with the child, you know that learning is happening. I don't think even parents would mind. And a lot of parents have shown that they are just interested in where they can get an excellent education.
Yeah.
And as for me, it would not have been a big decision to say, Rara, go here.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So even if it's public school, so far as I know that this is what you will get from that public school, I don't mind. But these days,
the differences are like night and day.
It's become so bad that back even the secondary schools that we have so much pride in, that back in the day, you say, hi, my son, whether you like it or not, this is where you are going. A lot of parents these days don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. We had a child here whose father attended my school, whose mother attended the Asantua, who lives in Kumasi. Are you going to Pempe? The father said, for the where?
It's not happening.
He says it won't happen. He says it won't happen. That is normally unheard of. He said it won't happen.
Yeah. 20, 30 years ago.
I was told from third or fourth grade where I was going to school.
Like,
these days,
in my house, growing up in my house, it was Accra Academy or die.
That's right.
Right? Because
now if Nathan has a son, it is not pressure he will put on his son.
No, I'm not. I won't.
Because he's not very sure.
I'm not sure of what exactly.
He's proud of the legacy, but he's not sure whether sending the child there now is actually useful outside of the legacy. Is it useful? Will the child benefit? And that is the conversation a lot of parents are having with themselves now. So this public school basic education that we have left to itself to figure itself out, whilst everybody else is doing something else with the ones that they can get free photos with and media mentions with, they need to pay more attention.
That's a solid submission.
Me from Nungwa has a message regarding the school fee discussion. The problem this year is that there are 4 terms instead of 3. That's why. Keep the cost implications there. If you can help me out with 1 or 2 more. Okay, it says in Kumasi is Good Shepherd Roman Catholic School is it's top, although it's a public school, and I am sure the Roman Catholic Church is making sure that
almost ironclad.
Star School Community 5 Tema is also one of the great public schools in Tema. Okay, and then says leadership. Ken from Cape Coast says, good morning. Tell Godfrey that when the government school was solid was when they paid fees, however little. Once that element was removed, that quality went with, which is what I'm saying. The parents will be willing to actually pay some money if they are guaranteed that the outcomes would be good. In the public schools, I don't think any people turn their nose down at public schools. And then let me read some. Guys, this public school versus private school thing is just about middle class status and prejudice. People think that quality is about how much you pay. The public schools continue to produce better students than private. Just that private schools will do anything to get their grades, but that's all. Just go to the secondary schools to find out. It's only sad that you guys argue by comparing the best of private with the worst public schools. No, I don't think so. I went to a secondary school, and if you went to the best science class, the best arts class, 80%, 90% of the class would be made up of private school students.
Same for me.
You know why? So recently, I did a quick experiment. So these students or pupils are just closed from school. So they will be either class 6, thereabout, class 5, and class 4.
Yeah.
And I called them up. Like they were closed from school, they were holding their bags, they were somewhere throwing stones, chasing dogs here and there. So I called them up just to ask them a few questions. So I asked them about what, if they actually knew, they knew of or about artificial intelligence for a good reason. Like, They were looking at me like that, like how you see us looking at me sheepishly, like they didn't know what it was about, the whole conversation around it. Like when you even ask them about the internet, and this is here in Accra. Like I was stunned that people in class 5, class 6 would not have any idea or even answer in passable English what artificial intelligence was about. So when I went home, then I called up my daughter and I asked her. I had never spoken to her about artificial intelligence, despite all the things I say on. So I asked her, what's artificial intelligence? And she went on and on and on and on. So I was seated in my...
such pride.
Yeah, that's right. I was looking at her. She was going on and on and on and on. And then she spoke about where she picked the knowledge from, class, mother spoke about it, auntie spoke about it, and she did further research on the internet. So to respond to that question, you see, we live in a new age now. You might be comfortable with whatever is being taught in the public schools. But we have moved on. I started disadvantaged because when I was back in Adafi and allied communities, I didn't have
access to a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, computer. The first time I actually used computer, properly so-called, was here in Accra at what they call communication center inside Odoko Official Town. That was when I registered my first email address. Because Yahoo, correct. Yahoo. You understand? Communication center at the market square there. Now, that gave me a lot because those days, even though we had even paid for computer studies at Greytown, I remember there was a demonstration that I called orchestrated.
Wow,
you have been orchestrating things for years.
We paid for ICT. The computers, a few of them in some room be like that, but they covered it.
And they opened the door.
It's everywhere. They covered it, or they used some tarpaulin or whatever it was to cover it. So they will come and draw the thing on the board, and then this is the mouse, this is the. I mean, how practical is that? You understand? So, I'm speaking to a number of colleagues. We orchestrated a demonstration, and the people
opened the door.
No. They actually they went to the headmaster's place to stage commotion. But the way I see that, this thing will be problematic. So it'll be like that as well small. So anyway, they can't launch the people. But the point is that, look, we cannot afford in this present age to allow our kids to lag behind. Because, look, you might assume that something useful is happening. The teaching you are getting is no longer about, what is matter, anything that has weight and can occupy space and all of what is culture, the way a group of people live and all of that. The world is moving on. And the only way you'll be able to compete is where you have cutting edge skills, which are relevant to modern day world economy. So, yes, you might be in Sweden or you might be in Tetekopa or someplace, where access to these facilities are non-existent. And you assume that because a certain teacher is coming and talking about a few things here and there, they are okay. But trust me, it is something that will follow you through the rest of it. Till today, there are things I am sort of incapacitated dealing with, merely because of the kind of, upbringing. And that is why it also hurts me, where you see kids who have all the opportunities today, and they are wasting it. And they want to watch, very useless things, and that's what gets them happy. Instead of making proper use of the opportunities you have. Because some of us, they don't have those opportunities.
Let me wrap up with a couple of messages, and then Nathan can continue. Ken from Cape Coast says, Charlie, to follow up on what Goffred said, there are government schools in Cape Coast that are run like private schools. Schools like Ifutu Primary Engineer High School, St. Monica's Primary Engineer High School, Pedu Elementary. Wow. Charlie, people remove their kids from private school to attend school there. Wow. These schools are being run well. Good Shepherd School in Kumasi is headed by an Indian reverend minister, a reverend sister, okay, who doesn't play with her work. So, yeah.
And this one from Albert says, talking about the fee situation, Sky, the issue is serious. I have 3 kids in the same school, and the private schools are being a bit inconsiderate and too profit-centered.
Yeah, I agree.
Really, really, really tough. And you would expect that if you have multiple like children in the same school, there should be some what do you call it? Discount. But some do it, others don't.
All right. So listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. We're talking about education. If you want one that's of a world-class standard and you want a British degree, then speak to Lancaster University Ghana right here in Accra. You get a 50% scholarship to support your study, a diverse student community, vibrant campus life. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. They are currently open for the October intake. You can call 030-218-989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only university campus in West Africa. Now, the decision-making power of the owners of a family business is profound. Therefore, the need for family business governance as a key strategy for continuity is very important. Ravens Consulting GH presents Africa Family Business Summit 2023 on the theme Family Business Governance, a key strategy for continuity. It's happening on 29th and 30th. So it started yesterday, we end today at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel. And today's session started at 8 a.m. Call 0202-712-647 to register or visit ravens-consulting.com/AFBS to register. This event is powered by Ravens Consulting GH. Now, Roberts & Sons Optical Services is announcing that their second branch is now open in Kumasi at Breport Junction. They are next to Angel FM and in the same premises as their Menfi Rural Bank. Enjoy amazing discounts and free giveaways at their Kumasi at Breport Junction branch. They are open from 8 to 5 on weekdays, 9 to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call 0507-656-876 or 0501-519-111 for more info. Roberts & Sons Optical Services, seeing is believing. Now, whether you are a homeowner, a business owner, or an individual seeking personal coverage, Star Assurance, your solid insurance partner, is the people you should talk to. They are inviting you to the Star Assurance Clinic happening at the Marina Mall. It will end tomorrow. It started on Wednesday, 28th June. It will end tomorrow, July 1. Every day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And there'll be exciting rewards available for Star Assurance clients. See you there. Star Assurance is your solid partner. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we have a few more things to do and we'll call it a morning. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show.
Now we go live in 3, 2, 1.
El Tigo is now 80. It's okay, Abna. Say XLO, LTLO, say Sadie. That you know simple cry. 80. Simple.
Tell your neighbor to tell a neighbor that your favorite telecommunication network, Airtel Tigo, is now 80. Simple. New name, but still provides you with affordable and reliable internet, clear calls, secure money services, and much more.
80. Life is simple.
The decision-making power of owners of a family business is profound. Therefore, the need for family business governance as a key strategy for continuity. Ravens Consulting GH presents Africa Family Business Summit 2023 with the theme Family Business Governance, a key strategy for continuity. The date is on 29th and 30th June 2023. Speakers for this year's summit includes Mrs. Audrey Jo Ezibo, Professor Martin Rowe, and many other speakers. Then your convener, Dr. Dennis Oteng. Venue, Kempinski Gold Coast City Hotel, Accra, Ghana. Time, 3 p.m. for day 1 and 8 a.m. for day 2. To register, call 0202-712-647 or visit our website www.ravens-consulting.com/AFBS/ It's Africa Family Business Summit 2023. Partners, SEBS Africa, Randem, IOD Ghana. Order event. Sponsors, La Bianca, GDC, Henley and Partners, Legacy Institute of Family Business, KED Wealth. This event is powered by Ravens Consulting GH.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo all-in-one for you. It's so milky, eh? I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids all-in-one. It's truly milky and rich in calcium. Milo, energy to go further.
This advert is FDA approved.
If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana right here in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless opportunities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our October 2023 intake. Apply now for our foundation and undergraduate programs. For more information, contact us on +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Shout! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Welcome back. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show. We have a few more comments before we call it a morning.
Yes, this one comes and says the problem in public schools can be summed up in one word: supervision. The public schools have trained teachers, but no one supervises their work, whilst the private schools mainly use people or untrained persons as teachers, but closely supervise their work.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that has come through: governments in recent times have turned a blind eye to the trajectory of perception about public and private school conversations. The future is nothing to rejoice over. There is no oversight responsibility and management of public schools in this country, even though we have institutions mandated to do so. Yakubu Imichambas is not very happy. Sakumono Holy Child is a public school. They took no feel from parents to run their own affairs, and parents are cool with that. I can say it's relatively better than 70% of the private schools around. This is Safo from Inside Pictures. I think there's just one at the top. Let me just take that one before Knee Prime sits in and says that this term, Akosobo International School has reduced their school fees by almost 20%. This is great. This is Lord from Akosobo. We need to check out what's happening. So Nathan, that's all from me. Knee Prime is here. You know Knee Prime? You know Knee Prime?
Very Mama Tali.
Knee Prime with the Mama Tali. If you are nicknamed Knee Prime.
I mean say Tali. That's our show for the morning. Many thanks. You heard Godfrey Akotoba and Richard Delaska. My name is Nathan Kwai. I sat in for Bernard Avle. Show produced. Neil Atelate, he was our sitting producer today. And Godfrey Dodum supported us on technical. Neil, what's in the news?
Well, coming up, a resident in Nanumba South in the northern region